Welcome, everybody, to World's Biggest Collectors, episode 30, the show where we bring on the biggest physical media collectors in the YouTube and social media spaces. And I am very happy to have this gentleman on that I'm getting ready to announce right now. He's big into Criterion. We're in the middle of Criterion month. We've got all these awesome new Criterion 4Ks that just came out, the Barnes & Noble sale. He's a big movie enthusiast as well, has a great channel where he talks about Criterion titles, other 4K titles, Blu-ray titles, just all kinds of amazing physical media content on his channel. I want to welcome him right now. It is James from 20th and 21st Century Movies. Welcome, man. Happy to have you here.
Hey, well, thank you, Ken. Thank you. I really appreciate the invitation. Glad to be here. Thank you so much.
Absolutely, man. I've been wanting to get you on this show for a long time. I think I probably discovered your channel somewhere, I don't know, maybe like May or June of this year, I believe.
Okay.
It was probably around like the last Criterion sale that we
Yep.
had, that I think I was looking up Criterion reviews. But you do some great work, man. I love your insight when you're talking about those older classic films and Criterion titles. And
Oh,
I just
thank
think
you.
you bring a lot of depth to the conversation on films. And I definitely encourage everybody in the chat that if you're not already subscribed to James from 20th and 21st Century Movies, to hit the link down below. I have his YouTube channel linked down below. Hit it, subscribe to his channel, and enjoy some great content. So yeah, man, happy to have you here. I'm going to give you a second before we get into the chat. This isn't Ask Us Anything, so if you guys have any questions, feel free to start firing them away. But I'm going to give you a second to kind of promote yourself and your channel and let everybody know what you're all about over at 20th and 21st Century Movies. The floor is yours, sir.
Sure, absolutely. My name is James. My channel is 20th and 21st Movies. We're about all things cinema. And basically, our channel is just about that. It's about, all things related to movies, physical media, of course, 4K, Blu-rays. A large bit of the focus of the channel is on Criterion collection releases, but we also cover, other areas of cinema as well, non-Criterion, titles. We also do some reaction videos of some of the upcoming films that are coming out, including Spider-Man, No Way Home, which is coming out pretty soon, the new Guillermo Del Toro film that's coming out, Nightmare Alley. And a lot of the films that we review that are non-Criterion have some linkage back to the Criterion collection. So a lot of Criterion coverage on our channel, but we like to cover all things cinema, and we really just enjoy all things related to movies and love to hear the comments from folks, because for me, a big reason why I started the channel was not only to share my passion around cinema, but to learn from other people. And I've learned so much over the past year in terms of, different directors and films that I've never seen before. So I love to read the comments in the comment section, and just building the community around people who love film. So it's awesome.
Absolutely, man. Yeah, and I didn't mean to just pin you into the Criterion collection. You also do, other stuff. I saw you react to the new Spider-Man trailer with your son the other day. That was an awesome video that you guys did.
And our
But you
dog too. Our
covered,
dog was in there too.
yeah, and your dog was in.
German
Yeah,
Shepherd puppy.
I seen your dog jump in there. That was pretty funny. But yeah, man, you have a great channel. Like I said, you do all kinds of great discussions about the new Criterion titles. Whenever I want to know if a new Criterion title is worth picking up, I watch your review on it, and then I figure it out. So yeah, I cannot stress to the audience, the people that are watching this, 42 people that are watching this right now, enough. If you like Criterion, if you like movies, if you like film, classic film, definitely go check out James over on his channel right away. Again, the link is in the description. And tonight, I don't know if you knew this or not, James, but this is the season finale of World's Biggest Collectors. This is episode 30. It's a milestone episode. It's also the season finale. So you're here at the end, the last episode of 2021. We'll be back in 2022, but I'm getting ready to ramp up at work. I'm getting ready to work like 14 or 20 days in a row. I don't know what it is for the peak season after Black Friday.
Yeah.
And then the holidays and all that stuff. So I'm just going to shut it down until the next year, and we'll come back fresh with some new awesome guests and all that stuff. But we have you here tonight. Cool. We have a chat of 43 people here watching us right now currently. Okay. So like I said, fire those questions away. We'll go ahead and get into the chat now, and we'll see how everybody's doing. We got Chandler right here, says, hi, how's everyone doing tonight? Favorite movie of 2021? He's actually hitting us with a question right away. So do you want to take this one first?
Oh, wow. Let me see. If I had to pick right now, favorite movie for 2021 so far, I would say Dune would be at the top of the list. And a second would be Promising Young Woman, which I have here on physical media that I've seen in 2021. Promising
Bam.
Young Woman. So
Just
I know
got my copy in
everybody's
today.
not a fan of this movie per se.
I was not the biggest fan of it, but I bought it because it was only $4.
This movie just it just completely subverted my expectations. I didn't know what to expect in this movie, and that's part of why I loved it so much. But for me, Dune definitely.
I guess I was looking at Promising Young Woman from a little bit more of a like traditional perspective. Like I just wanted more of like a revenge type thriller movie, I guess.
Yeah.
And when that ending happened with the infamous pillow scene,
oh my gosh,
I got so upset. I was cussing at my television. I was just so mad. I'm like, this is how you end this movie?
Yeah.
And then it goes on to have, it kind of makes up for it a little bit with the other ending that it has. But I don't know. It just it left a bad taste in my mouth. I'm going to rewatch it though, knowing what it is. Maybe I'll look at it in a different light. So as for my favorite of the year, it's probably it's three titles, and I don't know which one I would put first, second, or third, but Zola, The Suicide Squad, and Malignant are three of my favorites of this year.
See, I haven't seen any of those yet. I haven't seen.
I was going to ask you, have you seen Zola yet? Because I feel like you might love Zola. I feel like you might love Zola. It's a really crazy, outlandish film. Riley Keough has given like the best performance I've ever seen her give. But she's like a real outlandish, like over the top character. It's super fun. It's like a comedy. It's like a crime thriller. Just a bunch of different things in one. I love the movie though.
Cool.
Basement Blues is in the chat. He says, hi, Ken and James. My Killer Podcast says, hey everybody, guys, have a great stream. Unleash the Hillbilly. We're going to leave the Hillbilly back in my Blu-ray hunting videos. I'm not going to bring him to the, I'm not going to bring that ridiculousness to the stream tonight with James. He's a classy guy. He doesn't deserve.
You don't want to bring your alter ego to.
He doesn't deserve to have the Hillbilly Hunter unleashed tonight, to have him running rampant. I don't want to do that to him. Let's see. Tin Toxaki says, hi everyone. Hopefully y'all had an okay new release Tuesday. It was pretty good. Did you get the new Terminator 2 Steelbook?
I did not. That one? Yeah, I was thinking about that last night, and here's sort of my thinking on Terminator 2. I do have Terminator 2. I have the Blu-ray. I have one of the 15,000 Blu-ray editions that have been released for Terminator 2. So I have like the Skynet edition, which came out a few years ago, and I decided that I'm going to wait until a new 4K proper transfer for Terminator 2 comes out that does that film justice, and then I'll dive in.
I hear you, man. You're speaking like
whatever the cost is.
You're speaking like a sensible human being, but all I have to say to counter that is, but pretty packaging. That Steelbook does look pretty packaging. Sweet. Look at it. Yeah, oh my God, pretty. Couldn't resist. I will buy every edition of Terminator 2 until the end of time. It's one of my top 10 favorite movies.
Yeah.
Let's see. What's up, guys? Says ADTR Breakdown. What's up, man? How you doing tonight? ADTR? Movie Buff says best John Carradine movie. I hope you can answer. I think that you would be able to answer some of Movie Buff's questions. He's always hit me with some stumpers. He loves to ask what's my favorite 1910s movie, and I don't have an answer because I haven't seen any movie in the 1910s.
He's stumping me as well, because John Carradine. This is where IMDb is my best friend, because I do not know.
Look it up.
I am not familiar with John Carradine. I'm sure I've probably seen a movie of his but I'm just not familiar with that director.
Whatever he directed, it was probably in the 30s and 40s.
Yeah.
I can almost guarantee. Stagecoach.
Okay. Yeah, I have that Criterion edition. So he directed Stagecoach?
I don't know if he was an actor or a director.
An actor in it. No, John Ford directed it. John Carradine played Hatfield in it.
Okay. He was in 355 movies. Wow. His last movie was Jacko, a horror movie from 1995. That's crazy. You would think I would know something that he's been in.
Yeah, he was born in 1906 and died in 1988, 82 years old. Okay, a lot of films.
I'll say
So he was like
Fantasy
the Harold.
Island.
He was like the Harold Dean Stanton of his generation. Harry Dean
Yeah,
Stanton. So,
yeah.
but yeah, I see. I learned something new. That's what I was talking about. That
Hey, movie buffs always hitting us with some stumpers. He likes to ask what's my favorite 1890s movie, as
yeah.
well. And I've never seen a movie in the 1890s. I'm
But yeah,
guessing
I
that you
have.
haven't either, because if you did, you'd have to change your name to 19th, 20th, and 21st century movies.
Right.
Yeah,
That's
you would have to
right.
change it.
That's right.
48 Hours movies ranked. Have you seen the 48 Hours movies? Aren't there only two?
It's been a long time since I've seen those. The Eddie Murphy, Nick Nolte. I probably haven't seen those since the 1980s. It's
That's
been
a
a very
boring
long
ranking
time.
if it's only two, though. You
Yeah.
got to do better questions than that movie. But do you like Phantom of the Opera 1924? I have never seen it. Have
I
you
have
seen
never
that?
seen that one. I have never seen that one.
Okay, here we go into two questions we can probably answer. What's the best cop movie?
Best cop movie. I would say Lethal Weapon would be up there for me.
It's a
That's a
good
good
one.
one. Uh, I will probably stick with that for now.
Lethal
Lethal Weapon
Weapon. Off the top of my head, I always say Bad Boys. Bad
or
Boys is
Bad
one of my
Boys. Yeah.
favorites. I guess you would call those like buddy cop movies. Like I don't know if there's a distinction between cop movies and buddy cop. Cop, I'll say 7. I don't know.
Yeah, that's a good one.
Best war movie. Mine's 1917. I know it's recent, but that movie blew me away. I didn't love war movies before that, or Full Metal Jacket. Either one of those two.
Yeah, I would say either Saving Private Ryan, Full Metal Jacket, or Apocalypse Now would be a few ones
Apocalypse
that I
Now is
really love.
amazing. Yeah, Full
There's
Metal.
several that I
Saving
could
Private
name.
Ryan is the goat. That's the one. That's the go-to. Tiana Loves Movie says, "Hey everyone, welcome
Hey,
to Tiana.
Tiana.
How you doing tonight?" Gus says, "Hi Ken, James, and everyone in the chat. Welcome, man."
Hey,
Dominican
guys.
Scott says, "What's up?" Let's see. Hi everyone. Hi Tony. Hi everyone. Says Movies Around. What's up, Movies Around?
Hey, Ryan.
Let's see. I'm in the chat. Let's see. Hi everyone. Says Steven. What's up, Steven?
Hey,
Jerry
Steven.
says fire. Steve Mars says peace. Gus Amorty says hi, Tony. Hi, how's it going, Ken? Everybody saying hi to each other. James,
All
what
right.
criterions did you pick up this month? It's a good
Okay,
question. It is
so
how crazy did you go this month?
I didn't go too crazy this month. I picked up a few titles. I'm trying to find a few of the ones that I picked up. I picked up a Kuroneko recently, and I picked up. I think I may have a few of them in the pile here. Oh my goodness! I picked up Kuroneko earlier this month. I guess about a week ago. And
Yeah.
then in my first haul, I'm trying to remember what I picked up. I picked up The Incredible Shrinking Man. That's one that I'm still needing to watch. And tomorrow I plan to pick up my copy of Menace to Society and Uncut Gems.
Cannot wait to watch those.
And I also had the order for Citizen Kane, but of course, I think we all know the story with that one.
Yeah, I don't know
Unfortunately,
what's going on with these disc issues between the Road Warrior and Citizen Kane this week. It's crazy. And then I can't find Addams Family in stores. But the only thing I could find, the old reliable, was the shitty transfer for the Terminator 2 Steelbook. It's the only thing I could find. Well, I found Menace and Uncut Gems in stores. But yeah, it's I tried to keep it a little reserved this month with the Criterions. I went crazy back in July. I spent too much money in September and October, so I tried to keep it calm.
And I picked up the Melvin Van Peebles set in my first
Yes.
haul.
That's a nice looking set.
Yeah, I've been going through that set, and it's pretty amazing. So really,
how many
enjoying it.
Criterions do you have in your collection? Would you say?
I have about. I was looking on the My Movies app, Blu-ray.com, and I think it's about 440 something total editions. So, do you have the app, the My Movies app on Blu-ray?
I don't.
That is a
Everybody
great
has
app.
been pressuring me to get a tracker because I'll be out doing my hunts all the time, and I'll be like, I can't
Yes.
remember if I got this movie or not.
It
I
is a
need to do
great
it.
app because it keeps track of all your, you can scan the barcode and it'll pull it up and you can
Yeah.
put it in your collection, and it tracks all your Blu-rays, your 4K Ultra HDs, and you can actually search your collection by, by director, by, 4K regular Blu-ray, the rating of the movie, what
Yeah.
decade it came out.
Damn.
All kind of things. I mean, it's pretty awesome. So
I need
it's a
to.
nice way to kind of keep a database of all your films
Yeah, I need to get on
and to
that.
see how crazy you've gone collecting all these movies. Like, oh my, I have how
440
many movies?
criterions. That is a good criterion collection. See, I'm only up, I mean, with my pickup this month, I'm probably close to 50 now.
Okay,
But damn, 440. I am truly jealous. Do you have that Godzilla set in
I
your
do not. I
collection?
have not gotten that. I
I
don't
always
have
want to get
that.
it every criterion sale, and I never do it. I
The
feel like
main
it'll
set,
always be there.
yeah, the main sets that I have are the have the Ingmar Bergman set. And the Federico Fellini, Essential Fellini set, the
Yeah.
Agnes Varda set. But I've not pulled the trigger on Godzilla. And I don't. It's one of those. It's one of those sets I just haven't really gravitated to. Don't really have much of a desire to pick that one up.
Unless it has Godzilla 1998 in it, I'm not interested.
Yeah.
I'm not interested. Tim Toksaki says, what are some top titles you'd like to see get a Criterion release that you feel fits their niche? It's a good question.
I would love to see. Of course, I know they've been releasing some Coen Brothers films, and they've
Yes.
gotten into 4K. So my if they were to announce a 4K Criterion of No Country for Old
Ah,
Men
yes.
for
Yes. I knew you were going
2022,
to say that.
that would automatically be in my top 10 of 2022. I
Yes.
wouldn't need to know anything else. That would automatically be
No
in there,
Country for Old Men, There Will Be Blood. Give me those
Yes.
two. I want Boogie Nights as well. Give me Boogie Nights. Give me some more Paul Thomas Anderson and Coen Brothers movies.
Yep.
And then more A24. We got an A24 movie with Uncut Gems. So I think it's the only A24 movie in Criterion. So I want some more A24 movies like The Witch or Moonlight or something like that. I think would
Oh yeah.
be cool to have. Great Criterion collector James is very insightful. Says movies around.
Oh, well,
I
thank
agree.
you, Ryan.
What did you guys think of the T2 Steel? We talked about it a little bit. I love it, and James is taking the more sensible approach and not picking it up.
Yeah, I think it looks awesome,
Steven says not in stores here. Also thoughts on the Night Hunter, Night of the Hunter. It's one of my favorite Criterion releases so far. I love that movie.
I love it. Love
It's
it.
one of your recommendations.
Absolutely fantastic. I mean, this is definitely, if you don't have this one, definitely go pick this one up. It is a fantastic addition.
It's on my list. Like when I did a
Criterion.
Criterion stream back in July, and like everybody in the chat was calling that movie out and saying I needed to get it. So
Robert Mitchum's performance, he is so creepy in that movie. He is just brilliant. He's awesome.
I need to get it for sure. Gus says the best double dip ever on the T2 Steelbook. Yeah, for me, it was like the 8th time dipping. Vinny Conrad says Criterion Epic Battle. Favorite. Yeah, we need the Criterion. Are you familiar with the movie collection battles over on 4K D-Ray's
4K
channel?
D-Ray, yeah.
Yeah, we need to hit him up. We need to do a Criterion battle. I think you and Stephanie from Movie Chatter would be a great
cool.
great Criterion battle because she has like I think 500 in her collection.
Okay.
Let's see. Tim Toksaki says, "Ken, I can feel you on peak season. FedEx is going to grind me into the ground during the holidays." Yeah, no man. I'm getting ready. I'm getting there. Don Morton says, "Greetings, programs." What's up, Don? Moods of Brown says, "Favorite Akira Kurosawa movie from Criterion."
I would say, of course, I've got Seven Samurai. I have most of Kurosawa's films. Probably if I had to pick my favorite, it would be between Rashomon and High and Low. Definitely. But I love Seven Samurai. It was one of the very first Kurosawas I got. I actually got this at Costco, interestingly enough.
Really?
Back in the day, Costco used to sell Criterions. They used to sell them for $20. Even the editions like this that normally go for like the $49 price point or $50 price point, it was at Costco for like $19.99. And that's
really
what I
not
got
even
it
a
for.
sale, huh?
Yeah,
That's crazy. Guess I
But
need to
of
go
course,
hunting at Costco.
Costco doesn't sell Criterions anymore. That was years ago when I first started, but yeah.
Figures. But yeah, Seven Samurai I picked up last year during the sale, and I haven't watched it. I haven't seen a
Yeah.
Kurosawa film at all. I got that Rand Steelbook, so those are the
Oh,
top
yeah.
two on my list to watch.
Yeah. I picked it up, and I need to watch that because that's the Kurosawa I haven't seen yet.
Yeah. Dominican Scott says, question for our guest: what is the movie he loves but everyone else hates?
Movie that
It's always a hard question to answer because it's so subjective.
Loves everyone hates.
You have to really have your finger on the pulse of how everybody feels about a particular movie.
Yeah, I don't know. I guess maybe a movie that I've been waiting to come to Blu-ray, but for whatever reason hasn't. And this from 1986, Down and Out in Beverly Hills with Richard Dreyfuss and Nick Nolte.
I've
And
heard
Bette
of it, but I
Midler,
can't. Yeah, I
Little
can't think of
Richard.
it. Is it one that people like notoriously don't like?
I think you either love it or you hate it. I absolutely love it. It's just a guilty pleasure, and for whatever reason, it's never come to Blu-ray, and I would love to see it come out at some point.
Absolutely. Culture Trini says, "What's up, good people? What's up, Culture Trini?
What's up?
Promising Young Woman was horribly promoted. They purposely portrayed it as a revenge flick to get butts in the seats. It's a great film, though. Yeah, that's why I want to rewatch it because that's how I went into it watching it. My favorite Criterion release this year, I think overall, was Mirror. What are your favorites?
Yeah, for me, Mirror is definitely up there. So it's an Andrei Tarkovsky film, and it was my first introduction to Tarkovsky. And if you ask me to explain it, it's very hard to explain. It's just one of those just very, crazy kind of films. But it was an incredible experience watching that edition. So
Have you seen Solaris? Because he did that
yes.
one too. I bought that one this month. I wanted to get Stalker, but I couldn't find that one.
That's good. Stalker's good. Really, all the films of his that I've seen are good. They're definitely very meditative and very thought-provoking. But Mirror is one of my favorites so far. Of course, Love and Basketball is a wonderful, wonderful addition. Deep Cover, another one that I really love this year. In addition to Deep Cover, is Company, original cast album Company, Deep Cover. So this is really a good one.
Is that a movie?
This one here? It's Company was a play in 1970, a Broadway play.
Okay.
And so this is about the cast going into the studio to do the original cast album, to record the original cast album.
Oh, okay. I wasn't sure what it was when I saw it. I just saw it was like album. I'm like, is this like a musical album or like concert on Criterion or something?
Yeah, it's only 53 minutes, and it just basically covers. It's sort of like a documentary, and you see them going through the trials and tribulations of trying to get this recording just right, and it's really neat to watch. It's like 53 minutes, so it's a quick watch, and it has some really, really neat moments in it. So I really enjoyed that.
Yeah, my favorites this year, I'd probably say Fast Times at Ridgemont High was one of my favorites. Bringing Up Baby, I thought was a really good one, and then of course Deep Cover. But I haven't seen as many as you.
Fast Times is, I think, so far definitely the most killer soundtrack of any release this year.
Oh yeah, God, I forgot how great that movie, how great the movie was, and how great the soundtrack was because I hadn't seen it in probably 15 years. I doubt I could pay anything for Promising Young Woman. Maybe if I found it at the Dollar Tree. I don't know. I got it for close to $1. I got it for $4.50, so I pulled the trigger on it. Would you like to see Malcolm X get a Criterion release? That's I mean, that has to be a shoe-in for Criterion at some point.
Yeah, I would love to see
Do
that.
the Right Thing. That
Denzel,
one and Do the Right Thing are definitely like the top of the Spike Lee filmography.
That would be awesome.
Mika M says, "Hey guys, what's up, Mika? How you doing tonight?" Mika. Wish it had a new transfer, but that design is a beauty. I agree. What's unfortunate with T2 is you can't please everyone. Some people hate green and swear by the current transfer as being great, even if they took away details. Yeah. Hey, what's up, everybody? Says 4K Media Guy. What's up, man? Are you guys a fan of Criterion doing digipack cases for their 4Ks? I feel like it'd be cool if they went with the black Scanevo cases, similar to what Arrow does. Yeah, I could see that. Maybe put them in like I still want them in the big like digipack box sets, but I don't know. How do you
Yeah.
feel about that?
Yeah, I definitely look forward to seeing those digipacks tomorrow when I pick them up because I haven't picked the two. I haven't picked those up yet for Menace to Society and the Uncut Gems. But I like the digipack editions that I have so far, and I love that format. Um, so I guess we shall. I guess we shall see. It does make me think about Arrow, though. That is a label I have not gotten into that I really want to start
They've
diving
got some
into
great
next
stuff. I
year.
love Arrow.
I got a few Kino Lorber titles, but I definitely want to dive into Arrow a little bit.
It's a lot of horror stuff. It's a lot of cult stuff, but they've got really good releases and they do solid work with their 4Ks for sure.
Yeah.
But yeah, I love the digipacks. I'll almost like when I blind buy Criterions, I base the blind buy almost on if it's a digipack or not.
Hmm.
Sometimes,
Yeah.
like I almost grabbed the Furies, that big digipack set, just because it was a big bulky set. I don't even
Yeah.
know anything about the movie. I didn't end up grabbing it, but on the waterfront, I grabbed on a blind buy just because it was in the
That's a
digipack.
good one. That's a
But
really good one.
yeah, I love the digipacks for the Criterion. I wish they did it for all of them. I'm not a big
Hmm.
fan of just the regular cases of them.
Yeah.
Um, let's see. Which directors do you plan to feature in upcoming Taste of videos? Oh, he wants a
Oh,
peek behind the
interesting.
curtain.
Well, coming up before the end of this month, Guillermo Del Toro is coming up. He's the next entry in the Taste of Directors series. So he is coming up. Probably going to be posting that video on Monday, the 29th, on Cyber Monday. So Taste of Directors series for Guillermo Del Toro, which is kind of timely because he has a new movie coming out, uh, Nightmare Alley, which is the new adaptation of of the novel. And there was a recent Criterion Collection edition that came out earlier this year, Nightmare Alley from 1947, starring Tyrone Power. So this is Guillermo del Toro's modern day
Yep.
version of that
Is
story.
that supposed to come out this year, or is
It's
that
coming
slated
out
for?
next month in December.
Oh, is it cool?
Yeah, they
That
have a
is.
trailer, so I'm gonna put a video out. It'll be out probably on Monday, talking about Del Toro, and I'll focus on, 3 or 4 of his films like Kronos and Devil's Backbone and Pan's Labyrinth, and we'll
I did watch
react.
Kronos this year. I liked Kronos a lot. I didn't know what it was about at all. I knew nothing about it, and it's kind of like a vampire movie. If the vampire was a little amulet thing.
Yeah.
But I like that movie a lot. I wanted to watch Devil's Backbone because everybody says that's like his best movie,
Hmm.
but I
That's
haven't got
good.
around to it. Interesting filmography he's got though. He kind of
Hmm.
covers a lot of bases.
Hmm.
Will you be doing a Christmas marathon, James? Says Tiana loves movies.
Christmas marathon. I do plan to do some Christmas content in terms of, some of my favorite Christmas movies, and definitely want to hear, from the community, their favorites as well. So, definitely plan to do some of that content coming up in the next few weeks for sure. Because,
For
it's that
sure.
time of the year, I still can't believe we're sitting here and Thanksgiving is like literally almost tomorrow,
2 days, man. I
2
had you
days
on
away,
just in time for Thanksgiving.
Yeah. And then
Um,
Christmas coming up after that.
it's crazy, man. This year's just flown by.
Yeah.
Flown by. But Tiana Loves Movies hitting us with a super chat. Thank you so much,
All
Tiana. I
right.
appreciate that. Always appreciate you contributing and donating to the channel. Mika says, "Hey there, my killer podcast. Blade Runner 2049 is the benchmark in 4K. It's a
Oh
good
yeah.
4K transfer. It's a good
Hmm.
4K transfer. Just joining the fun. What's up, fellas? Says Huck's Pop Culture Cafe. What's up,
What's
Huck? How you
up?
doing, man? Tim Hockey says he was a huge TV actor for the last 20 to 30 years of his career. So I guess he's talking about, I already forget the guy's name.
The gentleman
Uh,
from Stagecoach.
yes, yes.
Yeah.
Do you think they'll ever have a 4K release of movies like Count Yorga or Death Master from the 70s? I
Oh,
am not familiar with
I
either
am
of those
not
two
familiar
movies.
with those.
Okay.
Um,
Maybe. Those
but
sound
yeah,
like titles that would be better fits for like
or
Arrow,
Yorga
maybe.
or Death Master.
Yeah.
Yeah, I am not familiar with those. But that's that. But that's part of what I was mentioning at the beginning about what I love about the community is that I'm learning about new films I never heard about, new
There's so
directors, and
much.
so much out there, you know.
I've just been so much more interested in like older films. I find myself like the past year or two
Hmm.
than I am anything new that's coming out
Like
because there's
here's
so
here
much.
the like the Green Knight 4K. I've heard about that release, and I have not picked it up yet. I've heard pretty good things about it. Have you seen the Green Knight?
I just watched The Green Knight a couple weeks ago with my wife. She loved it. I liked it a lot. It's one of those that you probably need to watch a couple of times. It's very dense. Um,
Okay,
there's a lot to unpack with that one, but overall, I enjoyed it. I enjoyed it. It's a really good A24 film. It looks amazing too.
cool.
Well acted and everything. Let's see. I'm still hoping that Scream Factory will release that Nightmare on Elm Street Blu-ray box set like they did with the Friday the 13th movies.
Hmm.
We're waiting. Do you collect any? I know you said you're not as into arrows, but do you have any Scream Factories in your collection? Are you a fan of
I
the
have a
horror?
few. I have at least. I know I have at least one. I have Carrie from Scream Shout
Okay,
Factory,
it's a nice release.
and trying to think what else. That's the one that's coming to my mind. But Carrie is one of my favorite horror films. Just
Yep.
one of my. It's way up there for me. I love that. Love that movie. The original one. Of course, they
Oh yeah.
have
Oh yeah.
the remake with Chloe Grace Moretz, which is okay, but
I remember it being
the
okay.
original, the
Okay.
original was where people need to go for for that
Yeah,
story.
for sure. Let's see. Como esta? First time watcher of the channel. Well, thank you so much,
All right, ¿cómo
Dolfo
está?
Riviera. I appreciate you being here. Home Video says, "Hey dudes, what's up, Home
Hey,
Videos?"
dude.
Let's see. How do you guys? Film connoisseur asks, "How do you guys feel about the region locked Blu-rays?" I mean, it is what it is. Get a region free player, I guess.
Yes. Well, I
uh,
mean, that's the way I mean, that's the way it is. Of course, one of the benefits of 4K is that you don't have to
yeah,
worry about that issue, which is good, you know.
I was gonna say it is interesting how they kind of abandoned that with 4K, and you don't have to worry about that. So,
Hmm.
um, kind of makes you wonder what the decision making process behind it is.
Yeah, I don't know. Yeah.
Black Hawk Down is underrated. It's a good war film. It's a good
It
war
is.
film.
Yeah.
Glory, Tears of the Sun, Saving Private Ryan. Love John Carradine in The Howling. Oh, he was in The Howling? Okay, well, that's
Oh,
my
okay.
favorite John Carradine film.
Cool.
Kevin L says, "What is the most disappointing second installment in a horror franchise?"
Disappointing second installment in a horror
The only one
franchise.
that jumps out to me right away was I don't know if you saw Happy Death Day, but the sequel to that one, Happy Death Day to You, I did not like at all.
Okay.
So I'll say that. I'll say that one is a completely different tone. I just wasn't on board for.
Okay. Yeah, there's nothing really coming to me there. I mean, I've seen the original Halloween. I don't from what I've heard, I know the sequels are not as highly regarded as the
Yeah,
original
I
1978
love some
film.
of them, and some of them I don't. But I mean,
Oh,
it depends.
yeah.
Yep. Let's see. What was your first Criterion you ever purchased? That's a good question.
Yeah, and I have them right here. I believe the first one I ever got, I believe, is this one right here, Blowout.
Oh,
Um,
dang. That's one that's one that was on my list. I forgot to get that one.
Yeah, definitely. This is one of my top recommendations. I got this one. I started collecting Criterions, I think around 2013, 2014, and this is one at Costco. It was at Costco. I just was looking in the movie section and just saw this cover. I saw, oh, John Travolta just is sitting there, and what's going on in this movie? And just the
Yeah.
cover just grabbed me, and that was my first introduction to Criterion. I didn't even know what Criterion was or anything. I just saw this
Yeah.
cool cover and picked it up, and this to this day still stands as one of my absolute favorite Criterion editions. And part of the reason for it is, of course, John Travolta's amazing in this, but is I love films and movies that show you a little bit about the process of making movies, and this is one of those movies. So he's a sound man, and it shows him basically recording the sound of a murder, and he also gets some pictures and starts to put together like a little mini video and put the set and syncs the sound to it. And part of what's cool about it is this is from 1981, so you see him doing it with his with the antiquated equipment from that time, and
Yeah.
you just sort of see the process of movie making in this film, and it's really cool. A great performance by Travolta, Nancy Allen, John Lithgow is amazing in this. So this was one of my first ones, and then shortly thereafter, I picked up Thief from
Heard some
Barnes
good
and
things about
Noble.
that one.
So this is a really, really good one. So these
Michael
are my
Mann
like
film.
early Criterions. They still stand as some of my absolute favorites in my collection. Just really, really good ones that I highly recommend picking up. So
Yeah, Tarantino said he got the idea to cast Travolta in Pulp Fiction from his performance in Blowouts, I think is what he
okay,
said.
cool.
So yeah, I definitely wanted to check that one out for sure.
Yeah.
I think mine was possibly Rosemary's Baby. I think
Oh,
I
okay.
got it during 50% off sale, Barnes and Noble, and I
And
knew I
it's a
wanted
good
to
thing
watch
you picked
it.
it up. It's a good thing you picked it up
Yeah, because it's
because
out of
it's
print
out of
now, isn't
print
it?
now. Yeah. Yep.
Yeah, I was happy I have that. I love that movie too. It's in my top 10
Hmm.
horror films probably. What happened with the Addams Family 4K? I don't know. I ordered it off of Amazon. It's supposed to be coming tomorrow, so I don't think it's delayed or anything. It just wasn't in Best Buy to pick up. Yes,
Yep.
Menace to Society. Prince of the City is one of the best cop movies out there. Sidney Lumet, Power.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
Cool.
I haven't seen that movie. Is the Road Warrior 4K disc audio? Audi? I don't know what you mean
Audie?
by that. I know there's audio issues with the Road Warrior disc for sure.
Hmm.
What is your favorite Jack Nicholson performance?
Um, I would say
You can call
as
me Joker.
as good as it gets, probably
That's a
as
good
good as
one.
it gets. I love that he has one of the best lines ever in a movie. You make me want to be a better man. It's like
Yeah,
that's one. I mean, it's just one of the great lines I've ever
yep,
heard in a movie.
absolutely. I can't not say The Shining. My heart won't let
Oh,
me.
that's a good one. Love that.
It has to be The Shining for me.
Yep.
I only have 12 criterions. I refuse to raise my pinky till I have at least 50. Uh,
Okay.
is the Road Warrior 4K audio issue that big old flaw? I bought my
Hmm.
anthology set used from a Facebook seller, so I don't see how getting a new disc would be possible. You should still be able to do the disc replacement program because they have that in effect, I'm pretty sure.
So what's
So
the deal with the audio issue? What's going on with
it's
that?
an issue with like the Atmos and the surround sound stuff. It's supposed to be like
Oh,
missing pieces and stuff that was in the original audio presentation isn't there. So I don't have that Atmos set up. I don't
hmm.
watch most
I
movies
don't
like that.
either.
I watch it on a sound bar with the sound bars. So it doesn't really affect me. So I'm not
Yeah.
too worried about it right now. I'll probably do the disc replacement at some point though.
Okay. Cool.
Just in case I do get that set up someday. Menace to
Hmm.
Society comes with the Tupac music video. Brenda's Got a Baby. That is my favorite song. So I'm super excited about that. Awesome, man.
Yeah, I'm
Awesome.
looking forward to getting that tomorrow. I'm really stoked. I mean, as bummed as I am about not getting Citizen Kane,
Yeah.
I am excited about Menace to Society and getting Uncut Gems. So I'm looking forward to getting those tomorrow.
Yeah, I was just excited for it because it just felt like I don't know, it just felt like something different, something that Criterion doesn't usually put out. And I've never seen the movie before. So
Hmm.
I love blind buying stuff and picking up things I've never seen before. Citizen Kane,
Oh
I've
yeah,
seen a couple times. So
yeah,
I didn't feel like I needed to grab that one. What
yep.
is your wife's favorite movie? It's a good question. It's a good question.
My wife's favorite movie. That is a great question. She likes a lot of course, this is a great time of year. Hallmark movies, all the Hallmark movies. So,
I
pretty
saw a
much,
lot of those today at the Walmart.
all of those movies, Lifetime Movie Network. So, yeah, I
Good
don't know a
picks.
specific one, but she likes a lot of those films. So,
Tim Talks Talkie says, "Oh my god, a Criterion battle will be a blast to watch." Yeah, I know Tim has a lot of Criterions as well.
okay, yeah.
Let's see. I would say movies from the year 1983 seem to be the most multi-watched by me. I was 13 that
Uh,
year. Any year stand out for you guys where you have the most multi-watched movies? That's a good
any
question.
year, wow, most multi-watched movies. That's interesting. I do love films from the 70s. That's interesting. Any particular year? Yeah, I would say maybe early 70s. One of my favorite films from that period is a Clint Eastwood film, "Play Misty for Me" from
I
1971.
got
Is
that on Blu-ray from a half price books for pretty cheap. I need to watch it.
Yeah, is his directorial debut, and I would say if I had to choose my favorite Eastwood film, that would be it right there, because it is just such a great movie. It's if you've seen Fatal Attraction, when you see Play Misty for Me, you'll see, oh, that's where Fatal Attraction came from.
Okay. Okay.
It's so good. And Jessica Walter, who recently passed away, was brilliant. She played the psycho in the film, and
Yeah.
she was just absolutely brilliant. Eastwood was great in it, and all the actors were great. And there's even a little Monterey jazz concert in the film, so it is just a super cool movie. Eastwood plays a disc jockey in the film
Yeah.
in Northern California, and this woman ends up stalking him. Calls into the radio station every night asking him to play Misty for me, and they come across a chance meeting, and things get weird. So
Yeah, I need to check that one out for sure. That's an interesting question. I want to say something from my childhood, but I feel like I may have watched more movies in any particular year, like recently, like maybe in the 2010s. I might say 2016, 2014. And the reason I say that is because I feel like my film taste is more diverse now than it used to be when I was a kid. I feel like I only watch like the same 5 movies over and over again, in like any particular year. So I feel like I've seen a lot of films in 2016, 2014. Those are probably my 2 favorite years of the 2010s.
yeah,
So I'll say those 2. I don't have Costco near me, but Sam's Club was the same way. Grabbed so many cheap movies and games from them like 10 years ago. Well, they
yeah.
need to bring that back.
Mhm.
Top 3 Spanish language movies. It's a good question.
That's interesting. Um, I would say a couple of Del Toro's films would certainly be in there. Like I think Kronos is in Spanish. Devil's Backbone.
Yeah, Kronos is interesting because it's all in Spanish, and then you got Ron Perlman speaking
Mhm.
English, and it was a funny story with him like getting into the movie because he didn't speak Spanish. But
Yep.
yeah, it's an interesting one.
Amores Perros, which is a really good one, really good addition from Criterion I got earlier this year. Um, Y tu Mama Tambien is really good. So it's a lot of good ones.
Awesome. Let's see. Favorite actor, favorite actress from Chandler.
Favorite actor.
Can you pin down your favorite actor and actress?
Oh man, that's really hard. I would say Denzel is up there for me.
Yeah.
In terms of current actors working today, Denzel is definitely up there. I love Leonardo DiCaprio. Those would be among my favorites. And then if you go back into older Hollywood, I would say, you know, Cary Grant, Jimmy Stewart, and Sidney Poitier would be like my big 3 from like the classic age.
Yep.
Um,
Those are some great ones. I don't know. It's hard for me for my favorite actor. It's hard to pick between like Denzel, Tom Hanks, Leonardo DiCaprio, like Robert De Niro, like
De
um,
Niro, Pacino. I mean,
Al
it's so
Pacino. It's
many,
like
so
there's so
many.
many. It's so hard. Like it would be
And
hard to do a Mount Rushmore of best actors. There's
and then
just a lot of
actress,
them.
I guess Meryl Streep, of course, is hard. I mean, how do you not, say
She's
Meryl Streep? She's up
she's the
there.
goat.
Viola Davis is amazing. Um, so yeah,
Yeah, Fences is probably my one of my favorite movies of the year that it came out, which I think was 2016. I thought that those were like Denzel and Viola's like best performances I've ever seen from them. I
yeah.
love that movie. How about the Year of the Dragon with Mickey Rourke? I haven't seen it. Have you seen Year of the Dragon?
I have not.
Huck's with you. He also likes Down and Out in Beverly Hills.
Oh
Let's see.
yes.
Also, other titles from that era genre with no Blu-ray included: Ruthless People, Moon Over Parador, and The First Stakeout.
Hmm. Okay.
Grab Deep Cover and Love and Basketball. Yeah, why the heck is another Stakeout on Blu-ray and not the first? I think I have another Stakeout on Blu-ray. I think I got it from half price. Thoughts on Matrix 4 posters? Are you talking about the new character posters? I don't know. I don't think I saw them all. Did you see them all?
I haven't. I saw that they had a new poster with Keanu, with Neo and Trinity, and like the
Yeah.
new Morpheus all together in this like one shot. I didn't know
Yeah.
if they had. I didn't know they had separate character posters. I am sort of looking forward to that. film. I reacted to the trailer, and at the time, I was sort of my excitement level was kind of, we'll
Yeah.
see. I'm still sort of in that place.
Yeah, I
I'm
am
just sort of
too.
I'm hoping they do something interesting with it because I was as far as the Matrix trilogy, I really loved the first one. It blew my mind when it came out. I mean, it
Yeah.
just totally just blew me away. Um, and then I was disappointed with the way that it ended with Revolutions. I just was very
It was
disappointed with
it
it.
was a very poor movie.
It just
That was
left me
that was
in.
my wife and I's first movie together in high school was Matrix
Oh,
Revolutions.
really? Okay. Oh, I'm
And I'm
sorry.
surprised she's still with me to this day. But I don't know. There's something about Matrix 4, like the posters, they look incredibly cartoonish. I
Okay.
just it looks like animated almost. I don't know. I'm not digging the promo material for it. Too glossy, too clean. I
Yeah.
don't know. The first one just didn't feel that way.
Yeah.
Let's see. 4KD raised in the chat. What's up, man? He says, I swear I
Hey.
need to see what's so good about Criterion. The artwork is usually so uninspiring to me, except Deep Cover.
Mhm.
What would you say some of your favorite artwork on Criterion? Some of the ones that pop
Um,
besides Deep Cover?
yeah, I mean, of course, deep
Because they
covers.
do sometimes, I will say that they do have some bland covers sometimes, I
Yeah,
think.
some of the covers, are kind of blasé. I would say, Memories of Murder is a good. Well, this is a great
Yeah, that's a good
addition,
cover.
but I like this cover. I think they did a good job with
I like
that.
the Bringing Up Baby cover with the cheetah was in color and they were in black and white and it was kind of wrapping around the Criterion release.
I like um I like this one here. This is an old
Oh
classic,
yes,
Videodrome.
that's the best one I think.
Yeah,
I love the packaging of that.
yeah, I love the packaging, the whole VHS you know, cover
Another
look for it.
Cronenberg Scanners has really cool artwork too.
But yeah, I think they've got. I mean, they don't always hit the mark on the covers. I think the cover for Rashomon is pretty good. You know,
Yeah,
so sometimes they hit the mark. Sometimes I know a lot of people had problems with the Citizen Kane with just a K. I didn't have a problem with it, but
yeah.
um,
It's basic, but
it's sort of a
I think it's still
subjective
cool
thing.
looking. Yeah.
Yeah.
I agree. I mean, it would have been cool to have him, on the podium, like that classic shot from the film. But
Hmm.
I don't know. Take what we
Yeah.
get. What do you guys think about Pump Up the Volume? I've never seen Pump Up the Volume.
I have not seen it either. I
Pump Up
have
the
not
Volume
seen
is a
it.
great movie. I haven't seen it. Other
Okay,
than Barry
I'll check
Lyndon,
that
I
out.
find literary adaptations in the Criterion collections like Macbeth and Tess tend to get overlooked. What are your thoughts? Says Rob Savage.
I know. Yeah, I mean, yeah. So if he's saying Barry Lyndon, like Macbeth and Teskett, tend to be overlooked. What are your thoughts? Yeah, I mean, there are a few. I know, Othello is in the collection. I have that one. There's Macbeth is in there as well. Um,
Isn't
and
Macbeth's a Roman Polanski, right? Did
yep,
he
it
direct
is.
that one? Yeah,
He
I
did.
thought so.
And get overlooked. Yeah, I mean there are some represented in there. They're probably not talked about as much, but they're there.
I wasn't a huge fan of Barry Lyndon. That's probably on my lower half of my Kubrick ranking.
Oh, okay.
I got really interesting like the last hour. I like the last hour of it, but there's
Hmm.
it's a very slow moving movie.
Yeah.
Saying that's why it drew me away from Criterion. I had Memories of a Murder, Deep Cover, Moonstruck, Irishman, and Silence of the Lambs. Silence of the Lambs is a great cover too.
Oh, yeah. It is.
Favorite Mexican directors: Carradine, Inarritu, or Del Toro. You ask
Yeah.
him like to pick between those three.
Yeah. They're all. I mean, the three of them are good. Are good friends, commonly known as the Three Amigos. In Hollywood, they're known to be really good friends. They're all
Hmm,
three of them have
I
won
didn't
the
know that.
Academy. All three of them have won the Academy Award for Best Director. Um, and
Out
I
of
liked them
those,
all. Huron, he did Gravity with Sandra Bullock, which
yes,
is so good, and
did the third Harry Potter.
uh, Inarritu's films are really really good. He did Inarritu. I think one of his is Birdman with Michael Keaton. I think
Yeah,
that's
he
one of
did
his.
like the 1-2 punch of Birdman and then The Revenant, like back to
Yes,
back.
back to back, and
And
won
I
Best
don't
Director
think he's
both of
made a
those.
film yet since. Like he just
Yep.
did those two movies and just kind of exhausted himself, I guess. And he's kind of gone into hiding a little bit, I'd say.
And Del Toro, he won his Oscar for probably one of my least favorite of his films,
The
The
Shape of
Water.
Water. Yeah,
You know,
that's
I
if I
saw
did a
that.
Del Toro ranking, honestly, that'd probably be at the bottom.
Yeah, I saw that
That would
once, and I
probably be at
was
the
like,
bottom.
okay, well, I got this on 4K. It's like, why did I get this? I should have saved
That's
that money. But
that's the movie where the woman has sex with a fish, basically.
yes, I could have just streamed that one, or or just read a summary
Visually,
of
like,
it.
it's beautiful. Like, I saw the movie in theaters, like,
Mhm.
ready to be blown away, and I'm like, visually it looks good. I'm not engaged by anything that's going on the screen.
Right.
Kids today that wear the popular checkerboard black and white Vans probably don't have a clue that Sean Penn was one that made them popular from Fast Times at Ridgemont High. Probably
Yes.
not. You're probably right. Favorite film genre? I'm
Favorite.
interested to hear your answer to this.
I like suspense thrillers. I mean, I love really pretty much most all genres, but I like
Do you find
suspense
it hard to like
thrillers.
pin down one particular genre that you like? Because there's so many like different shades of
Yeah.
genres and stuff. Like, I know mine's horror,
Okay.
um, but like when you get into like suspense and thriller, and it's like sometimes those all just kind of mesh together. Drama.
Yes. Yeah, some of
It
the
just
best films mesh together different genres, and it's hard to pin
yeah.
down, this is a horror film, or this is a thriller, or this is a whatever.
Like Silence of the Lambs, for example. Some people call it a horror movie. Some people call it a crime thriller. Some people call it a suspense thriller, like
Hmm.
mystery. It can be a lot of different things.
Absolutely. Yep.
Cynical says Down and Out in Beverly Hills is one of those fun movies that just washes over you. What's sad is a lot of those Touchstone movies will probably never see the light of day on Blu-ray because of Disney. Yeah, he's got a point.
Yep. Good point there.
Tony Movie Chappie's in the chat. Welcome, man. Says favorite
Hey.
drama movie you love or romantic movie.
Oh, okay. Let's see, romantic movie. I would say Jennifer Lopez in Made in Manhattan. You know, one of those.
I got the Mill Creek release of that.
Yeah, it's one of those romantic movies. Or think How to Win a Guy in 7 Days. Is that the Matthew McConaughey?
How to Lose a Guy in
How to
10
Lose a
days.
Guy in
Yes,
7
I
Days.
have that too. I found it at a Big Lots, I think.
Yeah, some of
Jumped
those
all over that.
McConaughey rom-coms from 15 years ago or so were pretty entertaining.
Yeah, he kind of got stuck in that genre for like a good 10 years. And then it was like
Mhm.
True Detective season 1 that kind of pulled him out of it, and then doing Dallas
Yeah.
Buyers Club and all that stuff.
I'm so glad you mentioned that, because that True Detective is one of my absolute favorite. That season that he did with Woody Harrelson is,
It's
for
so
me, one of the
good.
best seasons of TV ever. I mean,
I
so good.
think I love the first season, but I have
Mhm.
a hard time picking between that one and the third season. I love the third season of True
Oh, Mahershala
Detective with
Ali's,
Mahershala
yeah,
Ali and Stephen Dorff. Like, I think, like,
that
I
was
was like,
good
where the
too.
hell did Stephen Dorff come from? Like, I just remembered him from being the villain in Blade. I was like, he was so good in that show.
Mhm.
Mahershala Ali's good and great and everything.
Mhm.
But that season like blew me away. But the first one's great as
Oh
well.
yeah.
It's like neck and neck for me.
Yeah, I'm hoping that I haven't heard word if
I heard
they.
so many bad things about the second season, so I
Oh, the
never watched
second
it.
one is. Yeah, I got it on Blu-ray, and I mean, it has Vince Vaughn, Rachel McAdams in it, and I
Good
think
cast,
they
Colin
did
Farrell.
the best they could with what they had to. It just didn't work. It just didn't hit the mark.
Yeah, missed the mark. My Christmas wish list: a freaking Scream Factory box set of Nightmare on Elm Street. Well, it's not coming by Christmas, man. Maybe next Christmas. Blair Witch 2 gets a ton of hate compared to the first. Why? Way different type of movie.
Hmm.
Yeah, I haven't seen it in a long time. I don't remember being a big fan.
Yeah.
Most underrated movie sequel, in your opinion? Mine is Jurassic Park: The Lost World.
Most
Good question.
underrated movie sequel.
I like The Lost World. It has the trouble of following the masterpiece that is Jurassic Park. So I think that's why it gets a little hate.
Yeah, I have to think about that one. That's a good one.
Yeah, it's
Most
I don't know.
underrated movie sequel.
It's a tough one.
Yeah, that's a tough one.
I want
I'd
to
have
say
to
Back to
noodle
the
on that
Future Part 2, but I feel like a lot of people has come around on that movie. I remember when that one used to get some hate.
one.
But I
Now, do
always
you
love
have
Back
that
to the Future.
set? The Back to the Future set? Do you have that?
Yeah, I got
That's
it.
the
I got it
4K
last
set,
year.
right?
Yeah, the 4K. They look great too.
Oh, they
Look
do.
great,
Okay.
especially the second one. Like, the second one looks stunning.
Okay.
I'm enjoying your Married with Media Chucky TV series reviews. Can't wait for episode 7. I know we should be watching it tomorrow and putting a review up. Are you watching the Chucky TV series?
No, I haven't. I haven't been watching that. Is it
Are
pretty
you a
good?
big fan of Chucky and the Child's Play stuff?
I no, I have not. I have not dived into it. I've just seen
Okay.
little bits and pieces of it. But how is this? How's the TV series?
I like the TV series, but you have to really be on board for some of the ridiculousness that Chucky's kind of the direction that he's kind of gone in over the past 10 to 15 years, ever since they did Bride of Chucky. Like the first 3 Child's Play movies are like legitimate scary horror movies, and
Hmm.
then they just kind of flip the franchise into more of like a horror comedy kind of thing.
Oh, okay.
So that's kind of what the TV series is, but it's a good. I'm enjoying the TV series probably more so than some of the goofier movies in the franchise.
Okay.
Dude, Blowout is amazing. Have you seen Blow Up also? Now that's one that I
Yes.
did buy because of the Digipack 2. Blow Up I got in the last sale.
Yeah, I should have mentioned that. Yeah, I had that edition as well. I got that
Is
a few
Blow Up
years
a
after.
remake of Blowout or Blowout a remake of Blow Up?
Yes, it's sort of.
Because
I'm
that's
not
what
sure
I
if it's a
heard.
remake, but it was inspired
Okay.
by Blow Up, and that's actually a good like double feature. And Blow Up came out about in the late 1960s, and it's really good. It's about a photographer who basically takes pictures
Yeah.
and captures a murder. So
Need to
it's
check it
really
out.
good.
Should Keanu Reeves join the MCU? I thought he was in the MCU.
Hmm.
Was he not in Eternals? I thought I heard he was going to be in Eternals. Did you see that
I
one?
I have not seen Eternals. I have heard really bad things. I reacted to the
Yeah.
trailer, and I thought the trailer it was okay. And I've heard the movie is getting absolutely creamed. I heard it's
Yeah,
not.
I think it's the only Marvel movie that's rotten.
Yeah,
I think it's the
and
only
and,
rotten
and
Marvel movie.
it sort of got me a little. I'm kind of wondering what the future, what this next phase for Marvel is. Are they gonna recapture some of the success that they had in the first phases, or is it even possible with what they accomplished
I'm of
leading,
the
going
opinion
through
that
Endgame?
I don't think they should have stopped with Endgame, but for me, like the story kind of ended with Endgame. Like that was
Hmm.
the perfect stopping point, and that's
Yeah.
like what they did with like Civil War leading into Infinity War and
Mhm.
Endgame. That's like
How can you
lightning in a
top that?
bottle. It's like I don't know how you're ever. I don't know how any franchise ever is going to be able to top the success of the MCU in that run.
Yeah, I mean, how do you
Um,
take those 20 some films and just bring them to that crescendo
I
in
mean,
that?
360 million opening weekend for Endgame, and
Yeah.
Infinity War set the record with 250
Yeah.
the year before. So they increased the box office by 110 million in 1 year.
Hmm.
Made 2 billion, beat Avatar. Or did Avatar come back and beat them again? I feel like they might have.
I am not
I don't know. It's like
sure.
it's like going back and forth, but they'll just keep re-releasing them till the end of time, I'm sure.
But yeah, it's a great
Um,
achievement for sure.
but yeah, it's just I don't know how you capture that again.
Mm-mm.
It's going to be extremely hard, especially with just there's so much content. Like it just makes it even more impressive. Like when
Yeah.
Star Wars did it, there was like literally nothing else.
Yeah. Yeah.
So it was easy for them to just take over the world. But now there's just so much.
And that's another franchise I'm wondering about, is like in terms of what the future of Star Wars is. And I was so disappointed with Rise of Skywalker.
You and me both, my friend. That's another one. It's like that and Rob Zombie's Halloween, like the only 2 movies I hate with a burning passion. I was so mad when I got out of Rise of Skywalker. I'm like, this whole trilogy was pointless. You all didn't have a plan. You didn't know what you were doing the whole time.
Yeah.
Why did you even bother? What was the
Yeah.
point? Just to kill my childhood? I don't know.
Mm-mm.
Blowout is a great movie. I'll take
Hmm.
Keanu any way I can get him. Yeah, ditto on Keanu. Hey guys, drop a like on this stream to show them some love. But yeah, thank you, Lepke Visions. I forgot to tell everybody, but yes, like the video. Please like this video.
Thank you.
We are about an hour in. And again, guys, if you haven't subscribed to James with 20th and 21st Century Movies, definitely do that. The link is down below in the description. You all will not be disappointed. Mika M says, most visually stunning movie you've seen.
Wow.
It's a good question. I'll say
Um,
Blade Runner 2049 off the top of my head. That's one of them.
yeah, that's definitely up there. Dune is up there.
Anything Villeneuve. It's great.
Yeah, I mean Villeneuve is just amazing. I mean Dune, Blade Runner 2049. I would say Avatar. is an
Yeah,
amazing is amazing. Um, so I would say those would be up there for me.
good picks. Favorite drama movie that you love, says Tony Movie Chappie.
Favorite drama movie that I love. Would Color Purple qualify as drama? Let me look it up in
I would
IMDb.
say so. Is that a biographical movie?
I don't think it would be a bilo. It's based on a story from Alice Walker. See, Color Purple drama. Yes, it is drama. IMDb. I love
Oh
IMDb.
yeah,
So yeah, The Color Purple for me is one of my
because that
top.
was Steven Spielberg's like first more serious movie. That was when he was diving into more serious subject
Yeah,
material.
yeah, and for me, I mean, Spielberg has made some amazing movies. Obviously, Schindler's List, Saving Private Ryan, and he's done some great films. But for me, my personal favorite of his movies is The Color Purple.
Yeah,
I love that film, and
I have
um,
not seen it for a long time. I actually saw it at a Dollar General today on DVD. I don't know if it
no,
has a Blu-ray though. Does that have a
it
Blu-ray?
does. It has a Blu-ray. Hmm.
Yeah, so I'll pick up the Blu-ray at some point.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's a good pick. My favorite drama movie, I don't know, Prisoners would probably be up there.
Oh yeah, that's Villeneuve.
Denis Villeneuve's movie. I also love
That's an
Enemy.
intense one too. That's a crazy one.
I think it's
Mm.
Hugh Jackman's best performance.
Oof.
I love him as Logan, but he's so good. And that movie, like when you have kids, is like just makes it even harder of
Yeah,
a
Hugh
watch.
Jackman in that
So
movie
intense.
is scary. He's scary. He scares you in that
I love
movie.
him. He's so good. And then you got Jake
And
Gyllenhaal in the
Jake
movie too.
Gyllenhaal was
My
on the other
God.
side, and it's like, wow,
Pretty much anything Gyllenhaal's done in like the 2010s, I love. Like Nightcrawler
Nightcrawler.
is a
Yes,
great drama. Also, I don't know if you've seen Nocturnal Animals. I love
I
that
have
movie
with
too.
Amy Adams.
Amy
Yep.
Adams, yeah.
And what I love
Um,
about Nightcrawler is, it, what part of what made me really appreciate that was if you played, Grand Theft Auto 5, the video game, and you
yeah.
see Nightcrawler, you get GTA vibes. Just see it, you
Oh
almost feel
yeah, I
like, oh
can
my
see that
gosh, this
now.
looks like, the game, is, the whole vibe around the city is like, oh, I'm back in Los Santos.
Yeah, it's a stunning movie. I love that movie.
Yeah,
That's one that I could see getting a Criterion at some point too.
I would love
Needs
that.
a 4K. Movie
Mhm.
Buff says best 1940s movie. I could probably
Um,
do 1940s. Let me think. It's hard to think of 40s off the top of my head. Citizen Kane, I guess.
mhm.
um, I know I've seen some other movies in the 40s.
Yeah.
It's hard.
I would say for me, Citizen Kane is certainly up there. A couple of Hitchcock ones would be like Rebecca um, from
I need to dive into
1940,
more Hitchcock films.
and then Notorious from 1946. So he won that. Rebecca won Best Picture. It's his only film that won Best Picture,
Yeah,
surprisingly enough. But so I would say Rebecca and Notorious from the 40s are really good, as well as Citizen Kane, of course. I love
Casablanca. It's a Wonderful
Casablanca.
Life.
Yep.
Yeah, there's some other ones.
Hmm.
I need to get more into the 40s. I actually have seen more movies in the 30s, I think, than the 40s. Favorite Criterion horror movie?
Uh, well,
So, Silence of the Lambs for me, probably.
I would say Rosemary's Baby is up there.
Yeah, never mind. Rosemary's Baby.
Hausu, that the from 1977, the house.
Is that the
Um,
Japanese movie
yeah,
with like the weird
haunted
thing on the
house.
cover?
Yeah, haunted house movie is
I need to grab that one.
crazy, wacko, film. That's a good one.
Yeah. Tim Toxaki says, speaking of Hallmark, Bruce Campbell has one that just came out. It was relatively fun. It's called One December Night. Tim loves Bruce Campbell. Yeah, I haven't. Bruce Campbell's doing Hallmark movies now. Come on, Bruce.
Wow.
What up, Ken? You got the T2 collectible. LOL. As Usher says, you got it bad. Nah, but it's awesome. Casablanca or Gone with the Winds. I haven't seen Gone with the
Okay.
Wind, so I'll have to go Casablanca.
Gone with the Wind. I thought Gone with the Wind. That's not the 40s, but I have to look that up. Okay.
I don't know if he's commenting on that. He might just be asking us between those two. Is Gone with the
Oh,
Wind 30s?
oh, or Gone with the Wind. Oh, choose between them. I
Yeah,
guess Casablanca. I guess for me.
yeah.
Yeah.
Menace to Society is my first Criterion release in my collection. There you go.
Oh,
That's the title that got him to get one.
nice start.
Bam. Favorite Criterion cover. Yeah, I
Oh man.
can't. It's hard for me
Mm,
not to say Silence of the Lambs, but this Menace to Society is really nice. It's
mm.
close. I really like how it's. I didn't know it was like the slipcover where you pull it out. I don't know what you call this. It's like
Oh
got a hole
man.
in it. I didn't know it was that kind of deal, so it makes me like it even more. I love slipcovers like that.
Every time you show that, it's making me like, okay, how early can I get to Barnes and Noble tomorrow and pick up my
It's
copy?
so
I
nice.
cannot wait to get that.
It's so nice. Deep cover, best cover I see so far. That's a good cover. It's a
Hmm.
good cover. What's up, my man? I did pick up that one. Menace Society is my first Criterion, and I wanted to know what makes Criterion Edition movies so unique to collectors.
Mm.
You want to take this one, James?
Yeah, sure. I mean, I think a lot of it has to do with the care that they put into the transfers, and they were the first, I think, boutique label that really started the whole putting commentaries on discs, and really putting a lot of care into the supplements and the special features. Going beyond what a lot of studios put together, sort of you know simple type features, whereas Criterion goes into more depth with visual essays, and really does a good job with their interviews and supplemental features on their discs for the most part.
Yep.
And the packaging is really good usually, but they just put a lot of care into the films in terms of the way they look, the sound, and the the technical quality, and then also the supplements. So they do a good job usually.
It just makes you feel like you're buying something with some depth to it,
Hmm.
with some weight behind it,
They say,
other than just a
film
regular
school in the
Blu-ray.
box, film school in the box, where, you learn, you not only see the film at the highest level of quality, but you're also learning a lot about, the film, the director, the actors, what went into making the movie, and sort of its place in history, all that good stuff.
Yeah. Play Misty for Me is a great movie. Fun fact: Jessica
Hmm.
Water originally did the voice of Chucky in the doll form, but it sounded terrible, so they ended up having Brad Dourif do the doll voice as well. I didn't know that. That's actually interesting.
Hmm.
I seen, but you never seen it. It's a good movie. Lawrence is good.
Hmm.
Top five favorite movie characters of all time, says Tony Movie Chappie.
Oh wow.
And if you can't think of five off the top of your head, you can do three. You can do
Okay.
three.
I would say, you mentioned Silence of the Lambs, Hannibal Lecter, Anthony Hopkins'
Yep.
performance. I would say another Anthony Perkins, playing Norman Bates in
That's a good one.
Psycho.
That's a good one.
I mean, just one of the great characters of all time.
Absolutely.
Halloween, Michael Myers, maybe.
Yeah. Yeah.
Who else?
Definitely iconic.
Charlie Brown.
Hey, it's almost Thanksgiving, Christmas time. We're going to be watching our Charlie Brown
Charlie
movies.
Brown Christmas, my favorite. I'll just go ahead and say it, my favorite Christmas movie of all time, right here.
Oh, bam. Like the Charlie Brown.
Um,
I would say it's hard not to pick like Luke Skywalker, Marty
yeah,
McFly,
yeah,
Freddy Krueger. How about that?
yeah.
I'll go with those three. Favorite actress, Betty Davis.
Oh, she's good.
What is your favorite quote from a Denzel Washington movie?
Oh man, favorite quote.
I mean, it has to be King Kong ain't got shit on me, right?
That's a good one. I can roll with
Uh,
that.
I'm sure that there's much better ones.
Oh yeah.
Definitely can't wait to check it out, says Cal Daily, or Come On Killer Podcast, do Cal Day. Favorite actress of modern time, maybe Vera Farmiga. I guess that's his favorite.
Yep.
Matrix posters look cheap, quickly made art, but I'm sure the movie will be cool. It'll probably be
Okay.
cool, maybe.
I hope
Hopefully.
so. I hope it's cool. I have my fingers crossed. I have hopes that they don't mess it up.
That's the best we can hope for at this point, that it's at least cool. Are you excited to see Obi-Wan versus Darth Vader rematch? Are you big into the Star Wars? You
I
familiar with
am.
the
It's
Obi-Wan
funny.
show?
When I was a kid, I was more of a Star Trek person. I was, you think about Star Wars versus Star Trek, and I was on the sort of I was more of a Trekkie,
Yeah, Star
and
Trek's more the like intellectual sci-fi, I would
yeah,
say.
and I
Whereas
still
Star
love
Wars is
Star
more
Trek.
like kids fantasy.
But when I became an adult, I got more into Star Wars and really, appreciate the original trilogy. The prequels were the prequels, and then
Yeah.
the
They need Criterion releases, all
The
three.
Force Awakens was really encouraging. I was like, oh wow,
I
Star
agree. I
Wars
was
is
like a kid
back.
again watching that movie.
Star Wars is back. Oh, this is great. And then The Last Jedi came out, and I was like, oh, okay, this is interesting what Ryan Johnson's doing. I'm not sure what to think about this. And then uh, the last one came out, Rise of Skywalker, and I walked out of the theater just thinking to myself, oh my gosh, what have they done?
Yeah,
Um,
you just yeah, walk through that perfectly. Those are my exact thoughts
because
coming out of all those
2019 you
movies.
had those three tentpole events. You had Avengers, and
Yep,
you had Game of Thrones, and you
yep,
had Star Wars, and
yep.
only one of those delivered for me, and that was Endgame. Avengers
Endgame.
Endgame,
Yeah.
that gave me everything I wanted. I walked out of that theater, I was almost crying. I mean, I literally got what I wanted out of that. And
There's
then Game of
not many
Thrones.
shows or ends of storylines that can do that,
Yeah,
and
I mean,
it
Game of
has to be
Thrones did
cherished
this.
when you get
Season
it.
8 did this for me. I was like, I couldn't believe it. It was like, okay, 6 episodes, and I was like, oh my gosh, they have
At
just
least with Game of Thrones, like it wasn't one of those things that ruined the show for me. Like I could still watch season 1 through 7 and
yes.
really like enjoy them.
Mhm.
Star Wars, like I don't know if I can watch those new movies anymore. Not even The Force Awakens, and not just
Yeah,
get bad feelings, negative thoughts about them.
yeah, really, really
Um,
bad.
but yeah,
Um,
I agree with you. 2019 was a killer year. Like
mhm.
it was nuts. Like they let it all out in 2019, and then the world went to shit in 2020. So I guess perfect timing, I guess.
Yeah.
Um, but yeah, great movies. You got Parasite in that year, Uncut
Oh
Gems.
yeah,
Like it's
Parasite.
just
Oh my
so
gosh,
many great movies in
Parasite's
2019.
amazing.
They've really been dropping the ball on the covers the past 5 years or so. Says Pure Hangouts. Tim
Mm.
Talks Hockey says, love the Portrait of a Lady on Fire cover artwork. Yeah, it was another great movie that came out in 2019.
I don't have that edition, but everybody's recommending it, so I may pull
I
the
keep forgetting
trigger.
about it. I keep
I
forgetting
may
about
pull
it
the trigger this weekend on it. We'll see.
because it doesn't have a standard Blu-ray release. I don't think. I think it only has a Criterion because it was
Oh,
released
okay.
on Hulu, and I don't think
Mm.
it ever came to like physical media like
Oh,
proper.
okay.
Scanners and Repo Man had the Repo Man is a great one. That has
Oh, it
great
is.
cover artwork.
That's one of the best covers. It's a
Yeah,
nice little slim digipack,
yeah. I
and
picked that up as soon as
it's
I
good.
didn't love the movie when I watched it, but I
Mhm.
love that cover. All About
Mhm.
Eve is one of the worst illustrated covers I've seen them do. I think
Yeah,
it's
and
a nice cover.
the packaging is not great with the little sticky thing,
I heard they
but
replaced it for some people,
they
which
did.
I didn't
Okay.
know about. But I have that old like packaging when I bought it, and it's like
Mhm.
just the knobs
Yeah, the
is what
knobs.
I call them. Thoughts on
But
Demolition Man 2, Stallone and Snipes returning? I didn't know that was happening, but
I didn't either. But Demolition Man is good with them. I really enjoyed
yeah,
it. It was cheesy fun.
I guess they're trying to kill my childhood again. Does your wife ever give you a hard time about buying so many movies? Says Kevin L. No comments. I came home today with a bag, and she just gave me a mean, stern look and just walked the other way.
Yeah, my
So
wife
yeah.
is similar. She doesn't. She's not into the physical media thing.
Do
So
you really need that? Yes, I do. But yeah, it's a whole thing.
yeah.
The K on the cover makes more sense when you open it, considering the other parts of the inside have an A and an E. Okay, that's cool
Oh,
to know.
well, I'm looking forward to seeing it when I finally get my copy.
When they finally fix those disc issues. Ben Grimms here says, "Hey, just got a Resident Evil, giving it a 3 out of 5. Thanks for your thoughts, man. I forgot.
Okay.
That's weird that that movie came out on a Tuesday. Denzel doing Macbeth looks good. Is that
Okay.
a Netflix movie?
I think so. It's
I think it
with
is.
him and Francis McDormand and Joel Cohen directed it. So I
Did you like Nomadland?
I have not seen it. I know,
Okay.
Chloe Zhao won the award for it.
That was my
That's
favorite movie I've seen this year too. But I don't know if you
really.
want to call that a 2020 or a 2021 movie. I don't. It gets weird with that.
It's out on
Um,
disc. Is it out on disc?
yeah,
Nomadland.
it did get a disc release. I didn't pick it up
Okay.
yet because it was kind of expensive and it didn't have a slipcover. So I held off. I figured it'd go down in
But
price.
yeah, I definitely want to see it sometime. I heard it's really good. Of course, it won Best Picture, so I guess that'd be
Yeah,
pretty
I
good.
love the movie. I know a lot of people kind of, you know,
Hmm.
didn't really like it, but
Yeah.
Ken, after you watch Men of Society, I want to hear you quote Bill Duke's famous lines. You know, you done effed up, right? You know that, don't you? Is it directed by Bill Duke too, or is he in the
uh,
movie? Is he just in the movie?
I think he's in the movie. I don't think
It's
he
not.
directed. No, the Hughes brothers directed it.
Okay.
Albert and Alvin, the Hughes brothers are the
'Cause, I mean, I
directors of
know
the
Bill
film.
Duke was in, Predator, but other than that, I really don't
Yeah,
know a lot about his filmography.
yeah. Bill Duke directed Deep Cover. Yep.
Yeah. Diabolic is also great cover art from Criterion.
With
What
Flynn.
was the
Yep.
best memory you had renting from Blockbuster or Hollywood Video?
Oh,
Uh, I have a
best
lot of
memory.
memories, good memories. Just kind of me and my wife used to, when we were like in our early 20s, we could go to the Hollywood Video or Blockbuster and rent like 5 or 6 movies and go back and watch them all and over the course of a weekend. So I have a lot of good memories with those stores, but I have my best memories with like a local video store place when I was a kid
Mhm.
in my hometown. So not a Blockbuster or Hollywood Video.
Yeah, yeah. I remember renting videos from there, and it's sort of a time that is now no more. And of course, I own my Blu-ray copy of 310 to Yuma, um, because of Blockbuster, because I guess I didn't return it in time and they just charged me for it. So now I own it. It's like, oh, okay.
Yeah.
I didn't really want that to happen, but I guess I forgot to return it. So so I have
Yeah.
the Blockbuster case of it and everything. So
We're in different times now, but I like having like my own Blockbuster in my own house. That's pretty nice.
yeah.
That's pretty nice. But
Hmm.
yeah, what nobody ever talks about what's their favorite memory, renting from the Red Box. You just go up to it and get the movie out. You
Yeah.
have to wait like 5 minutes for it to shuffle through and come out. I also have my first two Titans of Cult, Matrix and Pacific Rim on the way. Do either of you have any Titans of Cult titles? I do not. Do you
I
have
do
any?
not. Titans of
Uh,
Code. Hmm.
what was your favorite Robin Williams film? Says Michael Duckworth. Mine is The World According to Garp. That's
Oh.
a that's a it's an obscure pick.
Hmm. Say the Fisher King is a good one. Let's see here.
This is another one where my childhood love for this movie can't.
I have a copy of this one, and it's bad I haven't seen it, but it's the one, Goodwill Hunting, right?
Yeah, it's a
With
great movie.
him
That's
and
that's
Matt
probably
Damon.
his best performance. Like,
I have a copy. I have that Blu-ray, and I've never seen it. It's one of those. It's one of
oh,
those
you
films
gotta
that I
watch it.
should have seen, but I just haven't
Yeah,
seen yet. I need to
yeah.
go ahead and just pop it in the player because I've heard nothing but good things about it.
It's such a good movie, and yeah, his performance in that movie will absolutely break you. It's such a good performance.
And then he's also in Insomnia, in
Yep.
the remake of Insomnia.
One
And
hour
what
photo. If
what,
you're,
what I loved about him was, I mean, very few actors had his range in terms of he was an incredibly funny comedian, and he could do the funny, and he could do the straight, and he could do the scary, and he could just do that full range. He could be all of it.
yep. I agree. But yeah, he's had a lot of great performances, but I still will always have to say Mrs. Doubtfire.
Oh, okay, yeah.
I love that movie. It's still that movie doesn't even age. Like I still watch it to this day, and I love it.
Hmm.
Your favorite Criterion?
Oh
Do you
goodness.
have a favorite Criterion in your collection that you could pick out of that 440 titles?
Not in. Well, I mean, I would say to this day, Blowout probably is one of my absolute favorites. So I still love this, and it ranks up there near the top. Parasite is also up there near the top in terms of single edition releases, not counting
I
box sets.
almost grabbed that today because I saw it in there, but I was like, do I need it? Because I already have it on Blu-ray.
Which one, Parasite?
Yeah, but I love the cover on it.
Yeah, Parasite, that's one that I'm guilty of the triple dip. I bought it. I bought the first
Blu-ray 4K
Blu-ray that came
Criterion.
out. Then they bought the 4K, and then they, got the
Yeah, they really
Criterion.
screwed with you on that one because they did the Blu-ray in like I think January, and then they did the 4K in March, and then they did
Yeah.
that freaking Criterion like 2 months later.
And one thing you get with the Criterion is you get the black and white version of the film.
Yeah, I
Which
saw it because I was looking on the back of it today. I was like, "Do I need this? What kind of special features?" I saw black and white. I was like, God. But I chose to get 4 movies that I don't have in my collection instead.
yeah,
I'll
but it's
get it
such
at
an
some
amazing
point.
film. I love that film. I'm trying to decide.
It's so good.
Memories of Murder is really good too, and I think Parasite still edges it out, but Bong Joon-ho is just amazing. Yeah, he
Absolutely.
did that movie
I still need to see Memories of
Snowpiercer.
Murder. Yeah.
What's that?
I still need to see Memories of a Murder. I've got the Criterion, but I haven't watched it yet.
Really good.
Yeah, he did Snowpiercer, and the only one I'm kind of mixed on with him is the Okja movie. Is that what it's called on Netflix?
Oh,
It's like a pig rhinoceros like creature thing. It's got Jake Gyllenhaal in it. It's got
okay.
Tilda Swinton. It's kind of like a kid's adventure with like some dark sensibilities too. It's a lot of different things. I was real mixed on that one, but
Okay.
Most underrated Hitchcock film.
Oh wow.
Psycho, of course, and that's so underrated. No,
Most underrated. Wow, that's interesting. He had. I mean, Hitchcock is my absolute. I guess I never told you this, but he's my favorite director of all.
he's one of the goats, man. He's
I mean,
definitely on the Mount Rushmore.
I mean, I just love him. Going back to my mother and I, back when I was a kid, we used to love watching his TV show, Alfred Hitchcock Presents, which was a TV episodic thing, which was really cool. Then I got into his movies later, but it's kind of hard to say what his underrated film is. I think I'll have to think about that one, but I just love this film so much.
Yeah, mine would probably be because I still need to catch up on a lot of Alfred Hitchcock filmography. I've only seen probably like 7 or 8 films that he's directed. And he's got like 75. But I would say my second favorite of his is probably To Catch a Thief. I love that movie when I watched it. Just like Cary Grant and Grace Kelly, like their chemistry in that movie is like unmatched to anything else I've seen. Like in modern times, I just thought it was.
Oh yeah,
I loved it. I love the story. I love them in it. And I don't hear a lot of people talk about that one. They always talk about Rear Window or Vertigo or Psycho or The Birds, but I don't hear Catch a Thief brought up too often. Let's see. Jurassic Park is a masterpiece, Kello. What are you talking about, man? Come on. I know the question is for them with most underrated Hitchcock, but I got to call out A Rope. That movie is insanely good.
Yeah, that could be one. I mean, that's a really, really good one. It's confined to a small space right there in that apartment. Everything happens right there. I don't know if Rear Window might be underrated a little bit. Maybe not. I think that's pretty highly regarded. Maybe
I would
some of
say
his
all the ones that
older,
were in that box that they did were probably like his top 4 movies, I would say.
yeah, like probably his more underrated titles might be the ones from his early British period that he did. That are lesser known.
Strangers on a Train. Those are that's one I keep hearing brought up a lot. So it's one of his better ones.
But you have that 4K box set with the Vertigo, Rear Window, The Bird, the Psycho.
Yes, I do. Yeah,
that's a good set, isn't it?
I love Vertigo when I watched it. That was a great movie. I haven't watched Rear Window yet, but I have seen that movie before. I like it. And The Birds is kind of like his monster movie, I guess is what you would say.
Yeah.
Just want to let you know I finished the Criterion Until the End of the World, and I thought it was a good movie.
Okay, right. I don't have that one yet. Okay, cool.
Let's see. Most underrated sequel in recent years, Dr. Sleep. That's a good one. I like Dr. Sleep a lot.
Oh yeah, I love that. I mean, because The Shining,
another 2019 movie.
Yeah, The Shining is so good, and when Dr. Sleep came out, I was really blown away by it. I mean, I really love that film. I mean, I love how it just expanded upon the Shining universe, and it just fits it so beautifully.
When I came out of the theater, I'm like, that's my favorite movie of the year. Like hands down, 'cause Shining. So like it's my second favorite horror movie. I just love that movie so much, and I was like, Doctor Sleep's probably gonna let me down. It'll probably be a decent follow up, but that movie
Rebecca
blew
De
me away.
Mornay, is that her name? Rebecca Ferguson.
Rebecca Ferguson, yeah, she was great villain.
She was great. The young girl who played the girl, she was really good.
Yep.
Ewan McGregor. I mean, they were fantastic.
I just love that because Stephen King like notoriously hates Stanley Kubrick's The Shining movie. So I loved how Mike Flanagan balanced that out. He made like a faithful adaptation to Doctor Sleep, and also did a proper sequel to the original Shining. He kind of did the best of both worlds. And I liked how it was kind of a different type of story than the original one. And then at the end, you just get that 30-minute like fan service sequence in the hotel.
Takes you back to the hotel. I mean,
I heard some people complaining about that, and I'm like, I'm all in for that kind of stuff when it's done right. You know, not in the way Star Wars does it sometimes. Did you order anything from Target buy two get one sale? I haven't yet, Monica. Have you ordered anything?
I have not. I have not.
Better filmography: Tom Hanks or Robert De Niro? Oh, that's a tough one.
I'm gonna give it to De Niro. I mean, if I had to pick, I'd say
he's been around for longer.
He's got The Godfather. He's got Raging Bull. He's got Deer Hunter. He's got Heat.
So many.
I mean, his more recent films, not
King
so much,
Comedy.
but his older stuff, Taxi Driver,
Casino,
which I need to
Goodfellas.
see that Columbia Class. I have Columbia Classics.
You got it.
2.
Oh, it looks so good.
I've seen Stripes, and I'm watching Oliver. I need to see Taxi Driver. I've been saving that for last, but I've heard that it looks amazing.
Oh, God, it's so good. Yeah, it's definitely one of the best 4Ks I've seen all year. Stripes was amazing, too. I haven't, I'd never seen that movie before. And
I hadn't either. But
it was awesome. I loved
it. It was so good.
Yeah, you could feel that the tone of Ghostbusters in that movie because, I mean, directed by Ivan Reitman and everything.
But yeah, I would give it to De Niro. Yeah,
definitely. It's hard. That's a tough one, but I'd say De Niro has not necessarily more range, but he has more longevity in his career. He's been around for a longer, so he's got more stuff to pick from. Should Babel get a 4K? I've never seen Babel.
I haven't either. That's
an Iñárritu film, isn't it? Am I wrong?
I am not sure. I know Brad Pitt is in it. Let me see.
Yeah, he is. Color Purple is definitely drama. The split up scene alone is teary. I'm way behind in this chat. Hugh Jackman, I think his best performance is The Prestige. He's good in The Prestige, man, but have you seen Prisoners?
Yeah, Babel. Alejandro G. Iñárritu directed it. Yep.
Oh, yeah, I was right. Yep. The Wolfman is a great 1940s movie. Yeah, Wolfman I have seen. I watched that recently with did you get the Universal Monsters 4K collection?
No, I've seen it in Best Buy. And it's tempting, but I think now you got it and you liked it, right?
Yes. Dracula looked great. The Wolfman looked great, and I haven't watched the other two yet, but the two I watched look good.
Yeah, I'll have to keep that on the watch list at some point.
I feel like Cronenberg's A History of Violence deserves a Criterion release. What do you guys think? Well, they definitely like to do a lot of Cronenberg films for Criterion, so I would think at some point maybe that and Easter Promisins could get it. Criterion Horror Nights of the Living Dead is a great addition. Yeah, it's a great one.
Oh, it is. That's amazing.
Cinema Dave Media's in the house. What's up, man? How are you doing tonight? That's another Criterion enthusiast over there. Favorite remake of an old movie?
Favorite remake of
says Mika.
Goodness. Remake of an old movie.
My mind always goes to horror because there's just tons of horror remakes. So I'll say Evil Dead 2013 is one of my favorite remakes.
Remake. This isn't a proper remake. This is more of a sequel, but I would say Blade Runner 2049. I'll cheat. It's not a remake. It's a sequel of the original.
Kind of like a soft reboot, I'd say.
But that was one of those things where they either needed to leave it alone and not mess anything up, or knock it out of the park, and they knocked it out of the park with 2049.
I think it's better than the original.
Yeah,
and that's my hot take, but I like it better than the original.
Yeah, it's so good.
That's another, like, the same thing as The Shining. Like 40 years after that movie was made, I think they were both 40 years after they made those sequels, and they knocked it out of the park. Favorite Terrence Malick movie?
Terrence Malick movie, Badlands, and that's
All right.
definitely an addition from Criterion that I would highly recommend. With Charlie Sheen and Sissy Spacek, is from 1971 or what have you, and it's so awesome to see them back at that time, because you see them today, but to see them back then, it's pretty awesome. But it's a
Yep.
really good. It's sort of like a Bonnie and Clyde type film, and it's so good. It's burning love in the plains of South Dakota or whatever. But it's really good.
I need to see it. I need to get into some Terrence
Badlands.
Malick. I don't think I've seen
And
it.
it's a nice. It's a really cool cover too. Badlands.
I feel like I've seen that in Barnes and Noble when I'm looking through them. Culture Trini says Criterion don't put out movies; they put out films. Yes.
Okay.
Really enjoyed the Thing 2010 version. I like that too. It's like a
Yeah.
prequel. Marriage Story and Blue is the Warmest Color are my favorite Criterions.
Oh, okay.
Did you like Marriage Story?
I haven't watched it yet. I have the edition. I picked it
Okay.
up last year, and I need to watch it. It's got ScarJo, Adam Driver in there, so I know the acting is
It's
going to
great
be really
cast,
good.
good performances. I don't know. There's something about that movie too. I couldn't get into it.
Oh, really?
I
Okay.
didn't really find the story particularly engaging. And married couples getting divorced, like I just don't feel like they act the way that they did in that movie. I don't know.
Okay. Okay.
Wasn't the biggest fan. Let's
Okay.
see. What's your most double, triple dipped movie? It says Electric Geek.
Well, Parasite.
There you go.
Definitely.
Yep, you triple dipped on that.
Mhm.
Mine has to be Terminator 2. Right there. Let's see. The Burbs, Back to the Future. Let's see. 2019. The best Star Wars sequels to the original is the Thrawn book trilogy with Heir to the Empire and Dark Force Rising and The Last Command. Yeah, I rebought all those recently because they re-released them at Target. So this is off subject, but I remember I broke up with a girl because she hated Vertigo and 2001: A Space Odyssey. Do you remember? I know you're married now, but do you remember that being a deal breaker for you if a girl that you liked didn't like a movie that you loved?
No, but I almost kind of a weird story about movies is I almost messed up my my marriage before I even started, because I was kind of a geek about movies back at that time.
Yeah.
And so I was really big on seeing the previews. And one time I met my girlfriend at the theater, and she was late for the movie. This is a long time ago. I'm a different person now, but back then I told her, well, we've missed the preview, so we'll have to reschedule for another date, another day. So I, turned around, and she went on her way. I went on my way, and I don't know how we're married today, but yeah, that happened. Yeah.
Well, there you
But
go. Your wife is very forgiving.
yep.
Yeah, that's an awesome story. Any thoughts on the new Jurassic Park Dominion trailer? I didn't know it had a
I haven't
trailer.
seen it. I have
Did it
not
come
seen
out
it.
tonight or something?
Okay.
Let's see. Mom and Pop Video Store were far superior to Blockbuster. Yeah, mine was.
Mm,
Mine was.
yeah.
Fun fact: Tupac was cast to play Kane, then Sharif in Menace to Society, but in the end, it didn't happen. Shaking my
Oh,
head.
interesting. Tupac.
Joker says, anybody else ever have the problem where they're just staring at their shelves and can't figure out what to watch? Do you have that problem?
Yeah, sometimes, especially because I know I have a backlog of things. I mean, we're collectors, so
Yeah.
there's a certain percentage of the collection where you're like, there's a certain portion I haven't seen yet. I keep getting more of these movies, and there's still ones I haven't even watched yet. So,
And then with us, like, because we do review stuff, you feel the need to watch the newer stuff first and,
yep,
review it and talk about it. So then you kind of forget about some of the other stuff that slips through the cracks.
yep.
So I never have a difficult time figuring out what to watch when I'm by myself. But when I'm with my wife, it's always a challenge to try to decide what we're watching for the night.
Yeah.
Good Will Hunting, Jumanji. Everybody's calling out Robin Williams movies.
Yeah.
Best Criterion ever. I think we already answered that one. Night of the Dead Criterion is incredible. I am 3 movies into Bruce Lee collection. This is an awesome Criterion release. Says Secular
Yeah.
Monk.
Yeah, it is. It's really good. The Jackie Chan one, the Police Story, and Police Story 2 is a phenomenal release. I think came out last year. That is so good.
Yeah. North by Northwest isn't bad. Yeah, that's another big Hitchcock movie.
It's a good one. Cary Grant.
Yeah, let's see.
Zatoichi,
I don't know.
Yeah, Zatoichi. That's another set similar to the Godzilla set that I've seen in. I know it's a popular Criterion set, but I just haven't made the move on that one yet.
I'm just impressed that you knew how to pronounce that.
Zatoichi.
I need you in all my live streams now. Let's see. Best horror movie of all time. What's your favorite horror movie?
I would say definitely Halloween is up there. The Shining is up there. Those are a couple of my favorites for sure. Halloween and The Shining. Carrie,
Yep. You named 2 of my top 3. My favorite's The Exorcist. I always thought it was a strange Connery was in a Hitchcock movie. It was strange Connery wasn't in it. Was he ever in a Hitchcock movie? Was Connery in a Hitchcock movie?
I am not sure. That's a good question. That's a good trivia question. I am not sure.
Yeah, I wasn't sure what he was saying there. If it was strange that he was in a movie or if he wasn't in a Hitchcock
I'll have to look
movie.
that up. That's a good one.
Let's see. Thinking of getting the Once Upon a Time in China set before the Barnes & Noble sells up. Did you get that one?
I have not. I'm actually thinking that's going to wait for the July sale, but I may go ahead and pull the trigger on it since I'm not getting Kane this month, but we'll see.
Yeah. Great set and some of the best Chinese cinema ever. Yeah, I'm just not familiar with that series. What is it? Is it like an action series?
It stars Jet Li, and it's like 5 films. Once Upon a Time in China, 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5, and it stars Jet Li. I don't know much about it either.
There's too many Once Upon a Times. Once Upon a Time in New York and China and Hollywood. And
I love Once Upon a Time in Hollywood, or I liked it pretty much. I liked it.
Another great 2019 movie. 2019 had tons of great movies. Stephen King loves every movie ever made, every single movie except for Stanley Kubrick's The Shining. Did he say that? How is Running Man on 4K? I don't know. I haven't seen that one. Taxi Driver might be my favorite movie of all time, says Sam. Why? It's a great one.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to seeing that in 4K for sure.
Monica says, I spent about $310 on the Target sale. A lot of them are pre-orders, so I don't have to pay for it all at once. That's nice planning, my man. Anyone have issue with Road Warrior 4K Herd Recall? It's the audio with the Dolby Atmos. Eastern Promises deserves it before History of Violence. I still haven't seen Eastern Promises. Have you seen that one?
I have not.
Everybody keeps telling me to check that one out. I only have it on DVD though.
Yeah.
Take 2. If you enjoy Memories of Murder, please check out The Memoirs of a Murderer.
Memoirs of a Murderer.
I have not seen that one either.
I have not.
De Niro also has more rewatchable movies than Hanks. I mean, how many times have we all seen Goodfellas, LOL? But then again, Toy Story and Gump get a lot of spins.
Yeah, Goodfellas. I forgot to mention Goodfellas from De Niro, and of course, Forrest Gump is so good. I mean, with of course, Forrest Gump and Jenny and Lieutenant Dan and
Lieutenant Dan. It's a great movie. I haven't watched Forrest Gump in a long time. It's so probably been 10 years, but I used to rewatch it all the time.
You know how he was inserted at different points in history and how he caused Watergate and all.
Robert Zemeckis movie, man. I think Robert Zemeckis is one of the most underrated directors of all time. He's a big director, don't get me wrong, but not a lot of people mention him in the same breath as Spielberg and Scorsese and Hitchcock, and he's made just as many great films like Back to the Future and Forrest Gump, Castaway, tons of movies.
A lot of good stuff, yeah.
Who Framed Roger Rabbit, which is a 4K I'm really looking forward to. Cynical Videos, I just got the lights off of Amazon. I think they were like $25.
Oh, cool.
I need to get more. It's kind of halfway done. But I do have my shelf on the way, my new shelf, because I'm filled back there, and I have to add a new shelf to the other side of the wall. Texas Chainsaw 2003 remake up there. That's a good one. Are you a Texas Chainsaw fan? Have you seen the original?
I've seen a little bit of it. Not a huge fan of it. I remember being a little bit terrified of it as a kid. Kind of being
Yeah.
freaked out by the idea of seeing it. But
The first one's scary because just the way that Toby Hooper shot that, it feels almost like a documentary in parts. It just feels so real.
yeah,
But most
yeah,
of
the
the
guy
rest
on
of
the
them are
cover
pretty
looks
ridiculous.
really, really creepy.
Yeah. Enjoy Dawn of the Dead remake and Tony Todd in Night remake. What's Night remake?
I don't know.
Night of the Living Dead remake? I don't think I've seen that one. Escapes. Trainspotting 2 is a great sequel as well. I never saw that one. I knew
Cool.
that they did it, but favorite remake 1989 The Thing. I never think of The Thing as a remake. I know it is, but those two movies are like so different. I don't know. I know it's a remake, but it just the same thing with the Fly too. Like the Fly and the original Fly from the 50s, they feel like completely different movies.
Yeah.
But
yeah. I've seen the Jeff Goldblum one, I guess the modern version of it, but I don't think I've seen the one from the 50s. But I've seen the Jeff Goldblum.
yeah, the
one.
Vincent Price one for 50s I just watched last month, but it's like completely different. It's almost like just the way that they kind of frame the story. It's they almost like they show the end and then they go back to the beginning. It's a different type of movie, but I know they're technically remakes. I just don't ever think of them like that. Met Tony Todd at Comic-Con, great guy. Favorite Terrence Malick, Days of Heaven. I haven't seen that one. Just got out of Ghostbusters Afterlife, and it was amazing. I almost shed a tear at the ends. I did too. Did you see that one yet?
I haven't seen it. I have heard pretty good things about it. I heard that it does give a nice nod to the original, Ghostbusters.
Yep. Yeah, I won't spoil anything if you haven't seen it yet, but I'm I'm pretty big Ghostbusters fan. I don't know if you are, so I was satisfied with how it ended.
Cool.
Ethan Edwards says, I heard Quentin Tarantino used to show any girl he was dating Rio Bravo, and if she didn't like it, he would break up with her. That sounds like something Quentin Tarantino would do.
Yeah. He's one of my favorite directors. He's great.
Yeah, for sure. I just counted my entire Blu-ray collection. Holy crap, 1607. Wife's gonna be mad. LOL. Well, don't tell her that. Connery was in Marnie.
Marnie. That's right. Yeah, I thought he was in. I couldn't put my finger on which one, but yes, he was in Marnie. Yeah.
Cliff says favorite horror is also The Exorcist. Jaws is my all-time favorite horror movie. And we are nearing the end of the chat, guys. So if you have any last-minute questions you like to get in, go ahead and leave them. Going to be trying to get out of here at the 11 o'clock mark. Don't want to keep James here all night. I know he's a very busy man. Jaws is my all-time favorite horror movie. Let's see. Did you guys get any of those Asian premium editions like Manta Lab, HD ZD, Nova Media? No, I haven't gotten any of those.
I have not gotten any of those.
Are you big into getting like the collector's edition stuff, or are you just satisfied with just getting the movie?
I'm mostly satisfied with getting the movie. I don't like to do a whole lot of double dipping, although I am guilty of it sometimes. But
yeah,
if there's a studio release of a film and then Criterion comes out later, a few years later, I'll get the Criterion. But I try to avoid double dipping as much as possible, and I try to be selective about when to upgrade to 4K.
Are you big into the steel books?
I'm not a huge steelbook person. I did get the Rand steelbook, which is really
such
cool.
a great. Those Lionsgate steelbooks, like Terminator 2, like those are killer, man. Apocalypse Now is really great.
Yeah, I definitely want to watch this. I had the Apocalypse Now, not the steelbook, but the 4K edition from a few years ago.
That was a great cover on that one too.
So I got the steelbook of the American Psycho recently.
That was a great. That's probably the steelbook of the year.
You pull it up and it's Christian Bale. Yeah.
How could you pass that up?
Yeah, so that's really good.
Pass that up. I got this one today, the Planes, Trains, and Automobiles.
Oh yeah, I'll probably pick that up tomorrow.
I've never seen this movie, and it's almost Thanksgiving. I heard it's a Thanksgiving movie, so I'm probably going to watch this tonight.
Yeah, I definitely want to see that.
Let's
Is there a
see.
good deal on that right now, or is it just?
It's this new. It just came out today, and at Best Buy it's only $12.99, so it's not a
Oh,
bad price
okay,
at
yeah,
all. Yeah,
yeah. I'll
it's a
definitely
great
get that.
price for it.
Oh yeah, if I see it, I'll
Um,
definitely get it.
this is a good question. Steven Spielberg or Martin Scorsese? How do you pick between those two?
Oh
Like,
my goodness.
it's like my childhood versus my adulthood. I found
I guess if I
I'm probably
had to,
more into Scorsese films now, but definitely Spielberg is like the reason I love movies. So
that's an impossible choice. If I had to go, I would probably go Scorsese for Goodfellas alone. But, but
yeah,
that's a hard choice.
yeah, it's very difficult. They're just such different filmmakers and directors, but they're
Yeah,
equal quality, I'd say.
yeah.
I will
Hmm.
say this though, Scorsese has never died off or gotten his films have never lowered in quality, I guess,
Yeah,
over the past 20 years, where I feel like Spielberg doesn't have the hits that he used to.
yeah. He doesn't have the juice that he used to have. Yeah,
Yeah, like he did, Taxi Driver way back in the 70s, and he's still hitting with like The Irishman and
yeah,
Wolf of Wall Street now. So
yeah, yeah. Do you have the Irishman on
yeah,
Criterion?
that was the
That's
one
really
I
good.
bought this month. I was holding off on it because I didn't
Mhm.
love that movie when I first saw it. It's
Mhm.
very long. I
Yeah, it
remember I
is.
watched it over 2 days, and by the time I got to the end of it, I always joked. I was like, I forgot how I even got to that point in the story because I feel like I've been watching it for so long. I loved
Yeah.
Al Pacino in it though. He was like my favorite
Hmm.
as Jimmy Hoffa in the movie, but I need to
Yeah.
rewatch it. It's just hard for me to commit to sitting down and watching another 3.5 hour movie.
Yeah.
Ghostbusters 2 exists. How y'all gonna do that, man?
Hmm.
Well, apparently they say that it does. There's very subtle references that I didn't catch in it, but I don't know. Big Trouble in Little China or Escape from New York, which is better? Have you seen both of those?
To be honest, I know they're both Kurt Russell films from the early '80s. I have not seen either of those films.
Yeah, both Carpenter films as well.
Okay, I've
Um,
not seen
I'm
those.
not. I'm not as familiar with Big Trouble in Little China. I watched it once, I know, and I wasn't a huge fan, so I got to go with Escape from New York.
Hmm.
I do need to watch it again though.
Yeah,
The first movie you saw on its opening night. That's a good question.
it's opening night. Oh my goodness. Maybe a Star Trek movie. Might be Star Trek II: The Wrath of Khan. I don't know. I'm not sure. See.
Better Criterion, Bergman's Cinema or Fellini set. Could you pick between those two?
I guess I would probably have to go with Bergman. Um, you know, there's definitely more in that set. But they're both killer sets. I mean, the Fellini set is an amazing set. So if you can get both, just get them both.
Yeah. If a 4K version of a movie is released, but you have the Blu-ray version, then how do you decide to double dip?
Well, for me, and this is a question that I'm going through right now with the Mulholland Drive
Yeah.
Criterion, because I have the Blu-ray of it, and what I've been saying is I need to know how big of an upgrade is it really a noticeable upgrade? And what I've read a couple of reviews, and those reviews are leading me to think it is a pretty nice upgrade. But I'm just not sure if I want to make that double dip or not. But I've heard that the
Yeah.
4K for Mulholland Drive looks really, really good.
Yeah. It just that depends on the movie sometimes too.
Yeah,
Just how
but I
much you
mean, I'm
like that
perfectly
movie.
happy with my Blu-ray of it, and I may just stick with that, to be
Yeah.
honest.
How much you feel like that movie really like lends itself to a 4K transfer, like visually, like how bad do you want to see it like in that
Yeah.
upgraded quality?
Hmm.
I got two opinions on these Asian edition steel books. Amazing, you should check them out. And Culture Trini says, Ken, stay away from those overseas premium steel books. You can thank me later. Uh, so did you see Duel? Thoughts? Is that
Oh,
was
Duel.
that the Ridley Scott film? The recent Ridley Scott film?
Say Duel. Now, I know that there's an old film, Duel. If he's talking
Wasn't in
about
that Spielberg's first movie?
that, I think it may be Spielberg's first movie starring.
The
What's his
Last
name?
Duel is the new one. The Last Duel,
Oh, The
not Duel.
Last Duel, not the
Yeah.
old. Okay, I was thinking
He
about the
he might
original.
mean he just says Duel, so he might mean the old one. But
Okay, yeah, I was thinking of the old Duel, which was really good. Um, I think it was Spielberg's first film. Let me look that up real quick while I'm thinking about it.
Cliff Park says, "Do you guys have the Django 4K from Arrow? Really great old Western. It looks incredible on 4K." So that's one, James, that I would recommend to you
Okay.
as your first Arrow video pickup.
Do
If you've never
Django? Okay.
Django on 4K, the movie that inspired
I'll write
Quentin
that down.
Tarantino's Django.
Okay. Oh,
This
really?
is
Okay.
maybe the best 4K transfer of the entire year.
Django
It's a
on Arrow.
spaghetti.
I
It's
got
a
it down.
spaghetti western, so Italian western from the '60s.
Okay.
And I love the movie, and the transfer is phenomenal, and it's a great release from Arrow.
Yeah.
So I would recommend that.
Yeah, I definitely want to check that out because it's sort of an example of the inspiration that these directors get from older stuff, and you don't really
Yeah,
realize where they got it from. And sort of another example of that with Tarantino is like with Kill Bill, which is probably my favorite Tarantino films, the Kill Bill films. They were inspired by the
the
Lady
first Kill
Snowblood.
Bill movies in my top 20 movies of all time.
Yeah,
I love it.
and they were inspired by the Lady Snowblood, which is
Yep.
1970 Japanese film. And when you see the Lady Snowblood, it'll be like, wow, this is where he got it from.
Yeah,
I
pretty
mean,
much.
this is exactly
I don't think a lot of people
he.
understand that about Tarantino. He's all references and lifting his material off of
Yeah, I
other
mean, he
directors. It's
literally
just the way
ripped
he
it
fuses
off
it
from
all
this.
together.
I mean, he put his own spin on it, and it's
Yeah.
cool, and I love what he did. But he totally took it from
Oh
this.
yeah. Yeah, that's all his movies are. But yeah, I highly recommend Django on 4K from Arrow.
Mhm. Okay, I'll check that out.
And I would
Yeah.
love to see a review of it on the channel.
Okay.
Let's see. I got Django on Steelbook Blu-ray. Bergman's box set was almost complete. Was almost a complete filmography. Fellini's was a sampling.
Okay.
Okay. Where is your movie collection? Do you have it in the other room? Is it in the closet? How do you
Yeah,
showcase it?
this is I'm in the basement right now. This is like an in-law suite um, area. My mother used to be here, and so now we're trying to figure out what to do with this space. But I keep most of my criterions in the other room over there. So in on a bookshelf and a couple of bookshelves. So
Awesome. So everybody's got such great questions tonight coming in, but we do have to wrap it up. I'm going to end on this one question from Caladeli. Says, name one genre and actors you would like to do a movie together right now. Michael Keaton, Sam Jackson, Christian Bale in a horror film. Your turn. Name one genre and actors you would like to do a movie together.
oh wow, genre and actors. Oh my goodness. How about Denzel Washington and Robert De Niro in a horror film together?
That's a good one. That's a good one. Yeah, mine would have to be horror. I'm trying to think of some actors I have never seen do horror before.
Mhm.
I'll go Leonardo DiCaprio, Meryl Streep. I keep wanting to say Tom Hanks. I want to see Leonardo DiCaprio and Tom Hanks get back together again
Okay.
and do a horror movie. Let's see what that
Yeah.
looks like. Michael Carradine has great streams, fellas. Nice to talk Criterion. I learned some things. Yeah, definitely.
Awesome.
James, very insightful, has a lot of knowledge on Criterion. Cannot recommend his channel highly enough. The link is in the description, guys. Hit that link. If you're watching live, watching on the replay, all that good stuff, definitely like the video as well. And James, I'm going to give you the opportunity one more time, man, before we get out of here to promote yourself and your channel. Let everybody know what you're all about over there at 20th and 21st Century Movie.
Awesome. Well, again, Ken, thank you so much for the invitation. I really, really enjoyed it and just enjoyed spending some time, here on your channel with you and with the community. And again, 20th and 21st movies, we're about all things cinema, and we have a heavy focus on the Criterion collection, but also, all things related to cinema, as well as we do a little bit of talking about certain television shows that are out as well, but a lot of Criterion content. We do a Taste Directors series where we focus on highlighting some specific directors. Of course, this month coming up, we have Guillermo Del Toro, Taste of Del Toro coming out. And then we'll resume our Taste Directors series in the month of January. And in the upcoming Del Toro video coming out this coming Monday, I'll announce the director that we're going to highlight for our January Taste of Director series. I'm really excited about that. A lot of it comes from recommendations from the community of directors to focus on. So really excited about the upcoming series. But again, Ken, thank you for having me. Really enjoyed it. It's been awesome and great to finally meet up with you.
Yeah, man. Like I said, thank you so much for being here, spending 2 hours with me, talking movies, physical media.
Yeah.
Definitely awesome time. I learned a lot as well. Criterion, I always love talking classic films and older movies because there's just so much that I haven't seen and I need to get into. And it makes me both overwhelmed but also excited at the same time that I get all these like new experience in front of me to
Yeah.
watch. But before I forget, it is Thanksgiving in 2 days.
Yes.
So James,
Happy
I want to wish you a
Thanksgiving.
happy Thanksgiving. And
Yes.
everybody in the chat, everybody that's watching, happy Thanksgiving, everybody. Have a great holidays. Thank you all for watching. Again, like the video, subscribe to James's channel. His links down below in the description. And we will see you guys later.
Happy Thanksgiving, everybody.